So this is another personalized direct message, really to the mother, to my mom. That is to you. Okay, theoretically, potentially, conceptually, it's always a case that there might, no one really wants this, but that there might have to be a witness watching. So maybe it's for a potential witness always that's there naturally with me, as is the case and as is known. But basically, it's essentially a message to you directly. Now, what is this? This is in response to the email that I got from you 3 days ago. I'm recording this. Today is, come on. Can't even see the date on this one. This is my least favorite phone ever, and I've said this multiple times already on various recordings that I have now recently. Probably will have to buy a new one somehow. Okay. 3 days ago, September 30th. I guess that's Tuesday. Okay, today's Friday, the 3rd of October. It actually took me a couple days to even have the capacity to form a response to this email specifically. Why? Because the email that I got, that I read here, to me, when I just skimmed through this, I didn't even read exactly word for word. Just skimming through it initially, just by eye, it's so hurtful, and I think that it's not really appreciated how hurtful the effect is when not just any human being in the world, but especially a family member, a relative, of the mother of a grown man writes in this kind of way, in this kind of circumstance. It's so hurtful. It's literally equal to physical attack. It's the same as if someone came and beat my ribs and stomach with a sledgehammer for a day. Okay, I'd have to sit the next 2 days, with my sides hurting. It's almost indistinguishable from what real pain is. You know what I'm talking about. They say, when they measure the brain scans and other physiology and neurology of, let's say, a man, when he goes through and even to some extent women too, but for a man, when he goes through, let's say, a breakup with like a pair bond woman, and if it's a bad one, only if it's a bad one, then there's a point where the pain of that experience is indistinguishable neurologically and physically from what real pain is if you attack them physically. That's unbelievable. Okay, so what I'm saying is that I'm going to extend that and say breakups are not the only paradigm and framework within which that kind of pain is experienced. I'm telling you, number one, it also happens when there is unbelievable, inordinate amounts of stress taking place, usually stemming from indignation, and where there's a feeling that this is primarily unjust. It is lack of justice because it is lack of kindness, where kindness was owed, and something different in the place of whatever is supposed to be happening here and what is happening here, where something different was owed than what we actually got. Now, this ties into the theme of looking at this and finding that, anytime that there are two people having an issue crossway each with each other, okay? Each is complaining about the other. Again, we go back to King Solomon's judgment over the two women, and we find that indistinguishable at the surface level are the two claims being made by each of the parties. This represents the seeming surface comparability, really almost to the point of indistinguishability between any two people who are pointing at each other, each making blame. One saying, "You wronged me. It's you who owes to be different to me," while the other then goes, "No, it's you who wronged me, and no, it's you who are supposed to be owing something different to me." And each will say the same thing that the other's saying, but only one of them is correct in the sight of God by correct application of clear principle, and only one of them is wrong, at least primarily on the whole, in the large part, and also almost all the time it's the entirety, or almost the entirety. Okay? Largely cut and dry when you have the vision from God's eye, God's lens and view, which every highest level judge and highest level king can see. But the trick is that the regular people cannot see often. So, here we are in a situation. You are saying to me, you as the mother is saying to me, and trying to signal to me and to any potential onlooker at the present or future, you're going, my son owes different. He's supposed to do different. He's supposed to be different. He's supposed to change. I am the one who is right. He should converge to me. He should converge to me. I am right, you say. While I say exactly the same. I say, you are the one who's wronged me. You are the one who owes to bow to the breaking of the knee from your old stubbornness to take on the new way, the correct God way, which looks like you changing how you are, and now you're back in accordance with the line of God correctly. I say, which would look like tshuva, repentance, return. Sad thing, okay? And actually, it took me at least a couple or so, 2-3 days or so, for me to be in a state of mind where I can even record this without having intense physiological pain due to the frustration of being, what I say, and I hold it, and this is true as I find, unfairly subjected for a person in my position to even have to read this crap from you. This is what I call it. Now, I'm going to say one more thing before I proceed to assess this and respond carefully. Prior, I've been very heated in many of these recordings. I've put a lot of time into these recordings for over 2 fucking years, if not 3 years. And if you look at the amount of energy I've put, hundreds and hundreds of hours of being a slave to the imposition that I'm being forced to do. I mean, my God, every time I'm given something that's crap, how much I have to run like a slave to what? To your shitty fucking stupidity and circumstance that you forced me into? Just to try to stop you in your evil, basically speaking. That this crap, all to pray to God, basically, that will her brain change even 1%? That's the fucking point, you see. Every torture you must go through is holy torture for you, but it's unholy when given to me. Because in the purest sense of justice, the only substantive real line is the one who is wrong must pay, the one who is right is unfairly subjected to unright suffering when you dare cross him. See, that's the old, but I've repeated this how much? You aren't changing. That's frightening, stunning. Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hours over 3 years of energetic involvement in anything. The text, the response to text, the video, the reply by email, the carefully worded, the thinking, God, and you've changed almost nothing. It's imperceptible, and in some ways you become actually slightly worse. How is that possible? God help you. God stop you. Stop this. Stop you. Punish you. Over and over again. Continue the grinding hell for you. Why are you not healing? Why are you not changing? You were told the correct law. Your violation of principle is the reason you are in the insanity. Over and over again. But I've explained every metric and facet of this as clearly as anyone can reasonably do, or just about. Anyone with sense understands. Multiple witnesses that have been full enough of real witnesses to our situation, 2 of them, at least so far, have sided with me and said you have wronged me, at least on the whole, if not just about completely in every facet that we find. Shut up already. Finally, we can hope and pray. Start humbling yourself. That's the prelude. Now let's see exactly and remind you again exactly why this is all crap. You write to me in this email. All the videos are finished. All right. You then write, is your mother asked you to keep my emails private, but you keep producing videos on YouTube with them without my permission. Why? It's just vomit again. Now, class, why is this absolutely insane for my mother to even write? In this context, if not ever, especially given if you have full contextual awareness of and the fullest nuanced reality of what the last 3 years of communications detailedly from me, from Fallon, from Anthony, to you, the mother, has been. How do you, in every way you had it explained to you. The right of God writes unto me that I'm supposed to do that, and that's good. And you daring to protest in wrong context is more you defying by beating my face, making me your prisoner wrongly. By me reading this is sick. How dare you subject anyone to this? It hurts, man, just to have to be subjected to read this. You're trapping me in insanity by trying to gaslight me into your false reality where you want to wish and hope that, you see, you make up a new anti-God rule in life and feeling about how things should go. Called, in essence, you hold it out to be essentially, when I'm telling my son to do this and then I feel this way and I'm right, I'm the mother. It's pretty much what's going on, isn't it? I understand you and what you think. It's just wrong. You don't realize it. You need to be taught. What the fuck else? I don't get why woman doesn't change. Why Lilith doesn't change, because it's in her nature not to change. Why Cain murders Abel. Okay, why Esav hates Yaakov. Why all the historical things. Why the twistedness keeps happening, even though we told you what evil is, what goodness is, and simply follow the letter of the law, what we just said to you, is your only job. What are you, deaf of hearing or retarded? Bluntly put. Do you see? Again, to explain, and we've had many AIs explain carefully over video to you why it's correct and it's good. I'm supposed to keep posting videos on that, or I have full entitlement to. So what do you mean you're asking me why? Are you either retarded or you just purposely trying to get under my skin to fucking fry my frustrations higher? Well, you're going to pay either way. I pray for your godly suffering. Do you understand that? So step back and say, if my son is praying for my punishment, maybe what am I doing? Do you have the awareness to fucking understand what reality is? Called moral reality, the hidden dimension. Everything I'm saying is beautiful perfection. Why do you pretend or remain so stubbornly hard-headed and stiff-necked that you refuse to just go, maybe I am as the mother wrong here? Huh? I've done things paralleling the last 7 minutes of this recording for hundreds of hours combined with you. So I'm basically just repeating things you've already heard. I should even have to do this. The answer? Review all the emails I told you to review. Remember, I told you to do this since February. It's October. What the fuck is taking you so long? If I said it once, you should have done it immediately. You have no sensibility. You just do what you want, mruganie oczy, and then magic reset of your brain every 5 minutes into the broken reality you festered in. No change. Why are you like this? Stop these people, Hashem. Stop these people. These types, narcissistic cluster B, Amalek types, kill us all. Those of us who go into undeserved torture. To even be given a sentence like this once in our lives is torture. Do you get it? In this context, after we've corrected you many times, you refuse correction. That's why. I'm so tired in my heart that I'm not going to be repeating teachings again for you. Shouldn't you understand by now why? It's because you're wronging me, and every wrong person rightly has the right to tell everyone in the world when you actually are wrong. Yes, that's good God. Recording again. To make it more difficult, this phone has such a strange programming that on the screen record thing and voice record, it shuts off every fucking 5 minutes if I don't touch the screen repeatedly. This is a terrible setup. Okay. This is craziness to me. You don't understand the levels of pain you create in people who are supposed to be your loved ones just by dreaming to utter a one word once ever that is not dripping with the highest consideration of love and respect. You're killing man. You understand? You are murderers of dignity, which is where soul and consciousness reside. Don't you get the holy thing? Fuck. I hate this shit. Why won't you stop it? Because in your instinct, you have a subconscious programming. Woman has this a lot in general too with her relation to man in general. Scary enough. In her fallen nature, not in her wholly rectified state, rare to find today, but in her fallen mode, that's everywhere today. It's the subconscious instinct of, I just know to keep prodding at you and torturing you like an object till I get what I want. I don't care. I don't know what right and wrong is. If I feel with my feeling I don't like it, I'll keep hurting you. And does that work? No. Is this godly? Figure it out. You should have at least 5 IQ enough to figure the answer. But you repeat the subconscious programming that you inherited from your fallen crap state, and you do it again. God kill you for this in every spiritual, figurative way possible. Spiritually, essentially, the wages of your substantive sin, which is any offense ever made, ever, even once, ever, in any context, ever, is death. By pure justice, literally and figuratively becomes that with no mercy, no grace, redeeming you. Stop torture. Stop pain. This is what we're calling for on this earth. Stop it. You things. You are not even human to us anymore. Those of us who wake up and understand where the real aggravation is coming from. The only thing in the way is the old governmental and false law systems that prevent true justice. The new holy law will be, we're going to immediately destroy and literally kill everyone who is ever unkind to anyone ever even once from that way of being. We're going to be measuring everything from substance from now on. Very obvious to see what substance is. Continuing. You then go on to state something even more heinous than the last sentence that you wrote. You write to me this sick shit. You say, quote, I won't even watch them anymore, so don't ask me to do that anymore. What kind of a sick shit fucking brain infested mother ever fucking dreams even once to speak right anything like this to her fucking only male grown son and heir ever, even once on this planet, wherever you stood when you even had the thought to think that, lest sit down and actually write and send this to me that I should ever see something like this and be subjected to the experience of this heinousness is where you created a portal to hell standing there in the ether, in the gate matrix space. May you be condemned yourself to be kicked viciously back through it to where the hell you came from when you even dreamed to write something like this to any human being ever, let alone to someone you have relation to by blood. What the fuck stupidity are you possessed by that you even believe that anything in the gigantic, broadest sense ballpark close to what this is even acceptable? Are you out of your goddamn mind? It is never fit to say the most obvious thing on this side of the universe. For any mother in your stupid, blind ass, blind, crusted fucking thinking nonsense, you should be hung and kicked in the face by every human being alive witnessing this. There is no justice on this earth until every evil mother and person alive is killed forever unloving her son and any other human being ever on earth ever. But you love all the wrong people in the ways that are most heinous. I won't even speak out loud what this is, but you know. Sick, stupid shit. Now, consider the last 15 minutes. Do you see how I'm speaking to you? This is not by your sick, stupid, fucking dream of a twisting, some kind of wrong, schizophrenic, or mental evaluation needing thing. No, no, no. Be very, very clear. When you hurt people, when any human being ever is hurt because of the insanity you do, every word you speak being a universal nuclear bomb I'm subjected to over and over again. It's like that story of the god who is given immortality so that he can be strapped to a mountain with his liver regenerating forever while vultures come pick at it and eat it out over and over again just to have the liver regenerate. So he's constantly going through the deepest torture at every second of his life forever. That it is what it's like. The rest of you humans, interestingly, the real abnormality, but you all live it, the rest of these humans, they numb. They get calloused to the live horror that they subject themselves to every waking, every fucking second and a half, again and again, at every head's turn, is what you sick humans have created for yourself here. But you all callous yourselves to this. You're numb. That's how you survive it. So in the calloused state, your new normal, but it's not really normal, is called, oh no, I'm fine, all right, oh no, and mind-numbing yourselves because it's your only self-defense mechanism left. But when I woke up from a research chemical-induced coma 10 years ago, I don't have the ability to numb myself anymore. I am now, by force of neurological programming, forcibly upregulated to feel the fullest pain anytime anyone ever does anything that's sick and twisted and immoral against you, with no ability to numb myself. I can never be numb. Therefore, every man with the light on this earth walking around to the proportion that he has that light, this is the proportion, like children who bear that light, they too feel and are hurt, you see, before man grows and often will numb himself, sadly, in this imperfect and heinous world. This is why you don't hurt those who have the light, who are innocent, who are as children, or who otherwise are morally integrous. The disdain in this crap. I'm going to clarify it for you so that you get it. You and every mother on earth over all time ever owe to love your children or die karmically by godly sentencing. And the only reason you don't die is because Hashem has established temporary grace on this earth for people like you, sick, twisted, and still surviving somehow. But this promise had an expiration date. It was given to you that after some time on this earth, if this lasted long enough, there's going to come a day where this is no longer going to be the case and will no longer be permitted. This will be destroyed by fire. This needs to be destroyed because this is only getting worse on this earth in all forms, and this is heinousness. You will never deny. Look in the context. Why am I sending you videos? Because your stupid ass doesn't even meet with your own son for 6 weeks, you twisted demonic woman. What the fuck hell is that? And if you want to know why this is, to correctly analyze it, you hold out, watch how dare my son act in some way that I find so bad. Oh, and you try to reverse the frame, implement what's called DARVO in psychological terms, reverse victim and offender. You want to deny, avoid accountability and all this, and simply say, oh, because my son's not loving every minute of how I am, even though it's horrendous, abuse, essentially, then I will frame him as somehow twisted. No, this isn't twisted. This is what any reasonable and fully sensitized human being will feel when you do exactly the kind of twisted shit you've done for days, months, years, 10 years, 20 years, and beyond in 30 years.
I think there's a lot of people that do like very...
You get that? You brought the one in my position to this level of frustration. So let me be clear. That the way I spoke to you, for example, when we sat down most recently in a Whole Foods nearby, it was pretty much, yes, comparable to this. It was actually a little better because we were in person sitting down in a Whole Foods. Actually a little softer than what I'm doing right now. Damn it. Yet in context, again, where you were guilty prior, fully not resolved and repented, and even were guilty of new wrongdoings coming into that meeting and continuing during the early part of our meeting, that you, yes, remember, you, when you do wrong, become the natural provocator to the one receiving the thing as the victim unjustly, who becomes this way defensively, yes, rebuking you, yes, then you don't get to, by moral right, play the reverso game like you always try to do. Get it? And we're not falling for it anymore, and you have super advanced AIs encoded with everything to show you you're wrong, and you still don't shut the fuck up and learn with your heinous arrogance. Stupid. With this foundational, we continue to then read the next sentence, where we have judgment passed on the prior sentence that is garbage, what you wrote, and may be viciously condemned. May vultures eat your face. I hate you. You are death to me, and you kill man every time you give anti-love to man. Never fail to bow with lovingness and deference to those who you owe familial love to, twisted demonic woman, and all people who are roughly like this. This is called cluster B, narcissism, borderline, psychopathic, sociopathic, antisocial, Amalek vibrationality. God knows it to be true, and very, very clearly formable, verifiable today with our new technology, thank God. For you then go on to write to me the next sentence, quote, I asked you to accept the psychiatric and neurological evaluation since you may have mental illness and you won't be aware of it. Let me say this to you a different way. And there are actually so many different dimensionalities and angles constituting what would be the complete, multifaceted, fully faceted answer and approach to what it is that you just wrote here to me, which I have addressed largely enough in the many hours of the most recent videos you've been sent, some of which you've watched and some of which you are still watching. Right now, as of the time of this recording, you're watching part 3 of this stuff, but your mind is made of hardened cement instead of plasticity clay that should change your evil hardened heart. Go purge yourself, or your heart will be cracked open with bombs and fire. We hate people like you. Do not harm the thing to the point that it is crisped, that it also will not love you back because you did not love it, and then complain that it's no longer functioning in the way you expect. And you're the reason in the holistic systematic system that you caused it. You lose the moral standing and right to point at anything or person and go, why is the situation like this when you made it? While you still amazingly stand there and deny the very... You literally still are cycling it. It's always hell. Get it? Every man does. We've all lived some version of this to some degree with women in general. This, mind you, as also a very, very insightful, I guess you could say, formulation and interpretation of why man and woman largely have been, one could say, commanded by God, by certain interpretive line or lens, to keep men and women apart. And the simplistic meaning of this, or the interpretation, is actually regarded to be as if by impurity or as if by contaminating the sexuality so that the culture doesn't become too pervasive or perverse like that. That's how it's sort of understood on a basic surface level, but that's not really it, amazingly, right? People think that's what it is. So a lot of traditional cultures will hold to that and segregate genders more strictly. No. Do you know what the real reason is? At the real inner substance, the real inner panemius of it? It's because if you women are even allowed to interact with us unchecked, you will drive us so crazy eventually by your continued dissent and heinousness that the chaos and the pain unjust to occur but must be borne is so heinous that it kills and destroys us because you are ineptitude, you cannot learn how to help yourselves in the collective but be hurting people with insanity forever. God, can I get an amen? One damn day I will. By those who have enough courage to speak. You kill us. That's why God said to be separate. Because it isn't the final holiest heaven on earth status on earth that man and woman should be separated. Yet why do religions and traditional cultures do it? Because it's the best case of the worst cases. Do you see the hell? It's the least terrible hell. It's just a little worse or a lot worse to live with you. Crap. You're somehow kept in better check if you're kept more distant from us. God, wow. It's either we're destroyed or, again, the callus. When you play guitar, your fingers must get the calluses. Or you will kill yourself forever playing. You get it? And you'll never love the art. You kill us. Every unrectified Eve and Lilith. That is you. I don't have a mental illness, you stupid woman. I have an indignation problem of your crap that I'm so tired of it that it verges on what would seem at the plain surface naive, contextually removed surface analysis as almost crazy seeming because of how frustration inducing your crap is unto man. Do you get it? But it's kind of obvious when it's said like this to anyone except you, because you are the addiction mode of I must not have it be understood that it is against me. I'm the narcissist. I'm the arrogant. I'm the ego. I'm the me, mine, I. That's the disease we've come down here to earth to kill. And we will destroy you. The hell is this? You're stupid. In some sense of context, I guess, the seeming reason, largely, that you suddenly shifted your understanding from what we discussed and met about since August being what the hell is happening in the narrative regarding my whole thing on this earth that's been going on for the last year plus, that you've seen many hours of YouTube videos on by now in 3 or 4 sets and lists, and there's more, to suddenly going, I'm telling you to do this, I'm telling you to do that, jump through my hoops, I control you, you are my dog, you are my slave. Really? Is that how to treat man? No. I'll even tell you, to extend it slightly, it isn't fit for you to treat man like this, even if you're technically right on the pure merit. Saying some parallel universe or in a roughly comparable situation, but different than this one, where there's some parent to some adult child and he does have some issue and you want to lovingly come in and be a partner and a co-creator with that person to bring them along both healthy lines merit-wise and by godly lines morally with heart energy intact. You will not abuse them and bring indignation to them either way. Duh. I mean, am I saying damn sense or am I saying nothing? You are the only twisted crap human who wants to keep the play that you literally carry it out and treat it as if I am saying nothing this whole time. May you be punished every time you don't resist to concede and bow in shame that you're being called out. Stop these people. You know what the Messianic Millennium is? Everybody who ever utters one word of offense ever, beep, the red button is pushed and you're gone.
basically speaking. Almost a little over basic, and obviously the real thing would be the truly infinitely nuanced but perfectly balanced thing, and perfectly right every time. That's the God thing, heaven on earth. And remember, when royalty is born on this earth, how do we treat celebrities, which are faux kings, and our actual royalty, wherever they are left on this earth, or they aren't what they once used to be, of course? What is that experience like when you're a Princess Diana to the public, when you're a Prince William, and imagine as King William in the future? To be treated lovingly because you are important, you are regarded, automatically you are loved. No one tramples on your shit like you are human garbage, but that's the point. The damn thing is, that's supposed to be the model of how every man is treated ever. We are all to be given full dignity and never indignation, even once. Do you know what the experiences was like for King future William, and to have that highest thing, and Michael Jackson, and all the whatever else you can imagine that's roughly sort of at least halfway touching on that highest vibrational echelon of what that kind of thing is? You are loved. It is ungodly and destructive to fail to love man. That's anti-God. That is sin. Anything that is the turning away of the face in any context ever. If you didn't treat man there as king, you die. You must understand, this is always what godliness is and has been and was meant to be. And because it hasn't been shepherded on this planet, you have hell on earth instead of heaven. You will have your fruits until you become so sick that you are finally tired of vomiting your whole lives. Wake up. Stop accepting garbage as food. It starts with rebuke. Once again, while the recording here has heard it enough, I'll say it out loud again to speak it out to the ether, that it may be heard. What's ironic, even to the Christians, yeah, it was given. If you were to rate 1 out of 10, from the common Christian perspective of what's most important by popularity, the verses or whatever like that in the Christian New Testament and the gospel books, and what's least important or most glossed over habitually, I'll tell you that the most important thing written in those 4 books is the thing most glossed over that sadly they did not make a religion, Christian or otherwise, out of sufficiently. Who the hell makes a sermon about Matthew 18, 15 through 17? Nobody. You know the hell the last part cut off. I just have to keep doing this over and over again because I don't have slaves, so to speak. That is servants, people doing things morally. You know what hell is on earth? When you tell people, I won't love you, I'll only do things if you pay me. In a localized kind of sense, without context, it seems slightly better. And you extend it to infinity, run it through time, and you will destroy the entire world like nothing. And then you find none of us are free. Everyone is subject to the will of the one who runs us all. Be a slave to him. Voluntarily, so to speak, reshackle ourselves all to the one way that this planet and civilization should be, or kill yourselves. Hell. Rebuke the people is what Jesus even said. And you people don't do that sufficiently. Even the Jewish Talmudic thing says, yeah, we obviously know, but we probably forgot, conveniently. The reason the Second Temple fell is one of the reasons, the holy, spiritual paradigm reasons, as we know and perceive, is because we stopped rebuking people. That's when your shit gets taken away from you. But the hidden little things that you think are the little unimportant things is the first thing people stop doing in like non-realization. You won't even realize you stopped doing it. As a first moment, you're all fallen. Know that I will never stop speaking to you or anyone like this, because this is the holiest thing I or any human being on earth can ever do or fucking carry out. God help these people whenever they don't take offense like this and make sufficient rebuke that there's any hope you may learn a damn thing. You deserve to be spoken to like this when your ass, despite the amount of grace and consideration you were given many times, though dwindling naturally, you forsook that shit too. May you be condemned. No grace for you or mercy, strict justice and severity. May God condemn you. Every sentence you've written here is the crap. May you pay. Every time I pronounce judgment on you, God gives me the special bling. But that's me modeling it. Not just me, I'm just a model, so I'll be first naturally by momentum, but I'm doing what you're all gonna be doing. That's the point. Copy and win. Continuing. So where you naturally write next, I will expect your answer tomorrow, the latest. Lady, you're not my master. You don't even dream to speak like this. If my father were still alive, it would be considered that one would put up with something like this coming from Yang programming. You are not Yang. God gave it to you that you were born as a woman. You don't give a dry Yang emulation when you are Yin, you corrupted, twisted, energetic, deviant crap. And that's the sick manifestation of the world today. It is woman being as man. It's going to continue until you as man, everyone else who is man, takes it back and brutalizes these shits. They won't give it to you. Take it. And stop the laws that prevent you from doing it in the most exalted way possible by substantive effect, wholly for the reason that it will succeed how it's supposed to. That's what the Jewish paradigm is. Destroy Roman energy, which we're still living in the extension of this shit. That's what's holding us back. The statute. We know what the fuck it is. We're trying to kill it, you idiots. We know what the shit is. Wake up. We are the holy ones. We know what we're doing. Trust it. You have no idea what the fuck heaven you're gonna get. Everybody on this earth. Continuing. You go on to write here. As if you are explaining something to fucking me. Are you goddamn kidding me? And out of your fucking haughty ass, arrogant mind. And there aren't even words enough to describe what the hell this is. It's just stunning that the mouth hangs open. You are not hardly anything. Thank you. Nice man, nice smile. Thank you. True evil, may it really be destroyed. Funny, it takes a King Solomon to correctly judge between the two women that came before him in those verses and parables. You see, Sept, that still common man as he is, isn't even able to discern, and woman, honestly, that much far less, especially in a fallen state. You cannot even discern what right and wrong is in the purest substantive sense. It takes a King Solomon just to call blue blue and purple purple correctly. Ah.
1 second, guys.
The hell chance do you think you have?
There's another eagle.
As you were saying, continue, you quote, this is out of concern that you may be mistaking or missing something important. Lady, ever since I woke up and entered into limitless mode, like that movie, the closest real-life thing, that movie is only a slightly cinematographically exaggeration made of, as those close to me over the last 10 years almost know. The few that have been close and know my whole deal, and the story that isn't even close to being publicly exposed, for unbelievable as that is, all the aspects and the amazing suppression of that aspect of my story. I'm popular in all the other ways, and no one even knows the half of it that counts. Amazing. Ever since then, I don't miss much. But certainly, I don't go to you. If I were to go to anybody on this earth and in 10 years, I haven't seen a human being quite that has insight, capacity. It really would take, like, you would have to resurrect Solomon from the dead from 3,000 years ago for me to see someone who's about roughly my equal on that. I haven't met the guy yet, but the closest thing, it tends to be people who I find out were unvaccinated as children. They're way, way, way smarter and apt than 99.5% of the population, by orders of magnitude. Like a Josiah type, if you remember that kid. Maybe he's halfway the closest. I would never go to you. Do you know where you rank? You are the one who are mistaking and missing something most of all. To ask that because you make a finding that I should defer to you, you are retarded.
This idea was that we all
Morally, like I told you, simply what you would owe to do is get someone else to agree with you after listening to both sides. That is how you administer justice. But you're retarded, you don't even know that. So even though I told you that, exactly because you simply go, no, just do what I say. Now I know you are twisted and evil. That is borderline demonic, in essence, really, at the fullest extension of it. If I ever miss anything that's material, and I mean, you can't imagine. You can't imagine the level I'm on. But what's sad is that you've been one of the few people who are closest. Among those who are closest, it's two groups. Those who get it all well and are freaked out, but get it. And then the few that don't, because that's how low you are. Not because you're higher than everybody. You think, oh, I see how foolish he is. Oh, why is everybody else making him out to be like this false high thing? That's the disease of the lowest of the land. You're dumb. I'm just going to say it crudely like this. I'm mocking you. May everyone see you for what you really are. I need you to keep exposing yourself. Stop resisting the paradigm. I need justice on this earth. I need truth to come out. That's my real thing. Stupid. The next thing here that you write is even worse. If there's anything that's been insulting in this email so far, it is nothing compared to what you write next. You write, quote, you see, I asked a famous clairvoyant guy who helps the police find missing people. That's how high he is, you see, I think, he says. Those clairvoyants who is doing that. And I asked him about you. Yeah, and he said, oh, clairvoyantly, he says you must be delusional, my son, you, yeah. Full stop. Hold on. You're telling me. And by the way, this is you, mind you, who every time you ever tell your version of any story ever to anyone I've ever known and heard of ever, that this version of story is the most poorly non-integrous, twisted, lack of contextually fit, heinous, sick deprivation of truth that I've ever seen for anyone ever make as consistently as it is so twisted always when it comes from you, just about. I don't know how. That it isn't until they get the double side, the other side of the story from me, and then they go, every time, they literally go, huh, God, like, that's unbelievable. And they say, yeah, no, now it makes perfect sense. I say, now I believe you, yeah. And they go, but God, it's like, huh. I've heard both sides now. I see how you have to be right, and it's impossible for her to be right, and I naturally side with you. But if I had not heard your side, how locked in a false belief, I would have believed her. How on the line, on the runaway train, she brings you. God, it's two fucking separate hijacked universes until it's force reconciled by you, man. Oh God, thanks that you told me. Why are you my crazy runaway train hijacker, prisoner, attempter every time you speak devilish? This is called Lashon Hara. And worse than that, still, you're forbidden by God to even speak because you destroy. And you still do not get it. May every guilty person pay. May all real evil be destroyed and pay fucking brutally. The worst. No mercy, no grace, no kindness, loving kindness left. For that's what restores loving kindness again back there from the root level. Thank God, you see, obviously, there's some truth. So here's what's insane. You go to some clairvoyant guy, tell him a half-twisted story, and then rely on some guy who tells you he must be clairvoyant? By the way, you're warned in every biblical thing not to ever rely on that. Why? Most people think because it's the bad energies. Here's a hidden moral dimension. It's because when someone gives you something, but they're not actually what's called a Navi Emes, a true prophet, you must have a true prophecy, which is almost extinct on this earth completely. It hardly even exists. Unless you're a true prophet, you're not anything because you do not have reliable 100% accuracy when you speak. So everybody knows when these like psychic and clairvoyant types go, they get recruited, they have a TV show, or they speak to police, where's the missing body? Okay, sometimes you're wrong. Let me tell you something. For those people who go to these types and get a word, and it's probabilistically, like maybe even if it's 50-50 or 60-40, could be right, but might be wrong. When you then take that, carry that home back with you, and then begin to treat other people differently in a way they don't deserve, because you believed a psychic. Are you stupid and crazy? And my clairvoyant told me you must be delusional. That's why I have the chutzpah to start treating you as less than. The hell if someone did that to you? I will come to you, imagine. Let's say you did nothing wrong. Hey, guess what? I went to a psychic. He told me you're the thief of the thing I lost. I'm gonna come back and start accusing you falsely and derisively and treating you off. That's immorality, because I'm robbing you of the dignity you would deserve. What am I doing really to you? You would say, what the hell? That's unfair. But I say, my clairvoyant told me it must be true. Who is the crazy one? It's not even the clairvoyant. It's you in context for relying and trying that hand and that shit. The most obvious thing of all. So then I tell you once again, what really makes the most sense on this earth? You go to a clairvoyant for him to tell you, oh, let me hear a few words about something. I'm probably delusional, yeah. That's your easy answer for him to give in context. And then you're going to treat that, you're going to make that to be your God. Pay the price. God tests you, you failed. You did exactly what the devil's trap is. May you continue to have extreme pain in your life in every way imaginable. I want it. May you scream and cry. You haven't had enough of that yet. Stop shying away from condemning wrongdoing, people on earth. This is how you do it, and everything will start finally to become purified. The first breath of oxygen on this planet, on this earth, we can have, man can have. It's waiting for you. Take it. Start to live. Basically, it's the first step. Yeah. You're wrong for even doing this as we return to this matter. Not just because I'm telling you you could rest assured outright, though you and your stupidity somehow never buy this. You are retarded. But you're wrong by morality, because it is immoral too. That is in addition, because you dared to go to a clairvoyant. You go to a clairvoyant. I'm not even going to say the outright in public now where I'm sitting. I'm going to water down this next part that I'm about to say, but this part is true as watered down. You're going to go to a clairvoyant who's somebody else. Clairvoyant, quote unquote. When people on this earth around all are already telling you that the person in your son's position, that your son in actuality literally is as a prophet. Could this be even plausibly true? You would never believe it, really, or you believe it as I found, as we've initially discussed, and at the same time, simultaneously disbelieve it in how you treat the situation. You are a quantum superpositioning. You are the woman's mind hedged. I believe both things at once. I believe both things. Schrodinger's cat is both dead and alive until I pick whichever one I want it to be at any given moment. And I'll change my mind with my feelings according to what serves my twisted perception. Somebody worship my feelings as a god. Do you see the fucking problem? You're not that smart. You don't even see reality perceptively correctly is the basis of the problem you have. May this be exposed. You will never believe it. You are in insanity, truly, rightly, in the substantive. Not me. But I said, get any human being to sit with both of us, hear both of our stories, and interchange and exchange endless cycles converging to the final truth that remains unmovable in the finality of the position. I'm telling you with haughty certainty as fully rightly, I'm never wrong. Any reasonable and sane human being will always see and side with me and say, that guy is right. But AI is already doing that. I've mastered the art and science of making the thing because the technology is advanced enough now. It's condemning you. It tracks all 50 billion interrelation combinations that man's mind can't even track. It does it all at once and tells you who's right automatically by hyper-pattern perception. Shut up, human, stupid. Know your place. Bow. Goddamn. You're going to heartily say, he is very good in what he does. That's why the woman believes I am morally entitled to pull this, in essence. That's the moral blindness of woman. It's like color blindness it is likened to. For even though we've called it out many times exactly like this on a very regular, semi-regular basis for 3 years straight, wow, oh my God. You just simply go, yeah, and then the next moment, and then you magically memory wiped every single thing of high, stupefying God-ass value, a godly value ever said to you, and just go, hey, I think you should see a psychiatrist today. Keep falling for it. Every time you're crushed condemningly by God through jurisdiction, through your stupidity, I leech more power to run the realm higher. I'm feeding off of your stupidity while telling you I'm doing it and telling you you're supposed to do different and laughing while you stay the same, so I keep feeding more God value. It's the new trick. You people don't know how to run a realm. He knows what is going on with the people. You write furthermore, as quoted here. Disgusting. And may everyone who sees this condemn you and spit on you in this crap. Unless he is an outright prophet, you do not go to someone like this. These seers and tellers were forbidden by you biblically. So you don't need to listen to me to know you shouldn't be doing it. It was already pre-told to you before in writing. May you be condemned. You are crap and evil for hurting me by subjecting me to this crap. The fuck hell is this? Continuing. You go on to then state, I also asked you about the cleaning situation, since you need urgent help with it, and I didn't get a clear answer, except you saying that this is something between you and the landlord. Full stop. That you even write this and put this little insight into what you've put here is stupefying. This, I find, this is your genuine attempt to recast your best woman stupid-ass brain understanding, despite everything I've told you. I'm saddened, I'm hurt. This is what hurts me. This is what hurts, man. No, you dumb blind woman. I told you, I'm leaving it that way. This is the new holiness, as I tell and instruct all of humanity, by the way. See, man thinks he's more manly when he becomes a slave. You know that? Hey, I'm going to go out and work hard today. That's a culture that got formed, remember, over the centuries? Or do you have ancestral memory? You know why man became that way? And like the low grunt level of the pyramid of society holds that as like a manly pride? Let me tell you something. Woman is just the same. And because woman became more powerful in her relation to man over the last several centuries and beyond, man became more prideful in running a physicality on this earth. But that's man's fallen state, is the hidden trap I'm going to reveal to you, like a magician reveals a hidden quarter behind your ear you didn't know was there. Why am I saying this? Deep explanation. It's because woman in her fallen and immoral state, that's almost every woman to some significant degree or greater today, every woman is the same, even worse. Every woman makes a god out of God, please, security. Don't you get it? I worship security. I worship the physicality, aspect, and dimensionality and face of any given matter. Do I have the thing? Do I have the house? Do I have the safety? Do I have the thing? Have the thing. Have the thing? Have the thing. That's the big song of 6,000 years, all greater and greater. And who got duped eventually to participate in this? Real wisdom. Man. The more woman can subconsciously program man to be as a slave, the more man, by cultural extension over the centuries, got duped into running a society and civilization that carries that energy. Look how much we do physicality. God said, you're all stupid. And the whole 6,000 years of prophetically looking into the future where we precast what's definitely going to happen is me laughing at this creation because you're going to chase physicality for 6,000 years. You're so stupid before you wake up, and one among you will wake your asses up finally at the end of time to what the real dimension is. It's not physicality. It's not security. It's not, there's mess there, clean that, do that, move that, oh, what's that? I don't like that, change that. But who is like that in life? We already find that those who have that kind of impulse at a higher level, yes, they do tend to be more of the cluster B bearing personality disorder, narcissistic types, etc., but it's also those people, men and women, who on the whole have less of the light, less of the moral awareness of dimensionality. Because when you really wake up to the inner substance, but once you say the truth, actually it's not a high hidden truth, it's actually just obvious stuff. I'm not really brilliant, I'm just telling you what should be obvious and becomes obvious again, obviously, hopefully after that, and for any reasonable person it does, once I say it, and it's just easy. It's the easy truth. No kidding. It's just consciousness derives a certain unit or binary dimensionality and status that it seeks to attain always as a commonality across consciousness, any life, anywhere, regardless of anything. Why do people search for peace? They have a nature to love peace, but not everyone loves peace. Some people love to fight, yet why do they fight? Because it's in their nature to fight. So the next question becomes, why do they have the different natures, yet they still do exactly what their natures have them do? There must be a commonality unifying them. I've recorded on this before. It's because it dignifies them, in short. When I say the word dignity at first, it doesn't mean much to anybody just hearing it once, but I've done many videos on this. When you watch those videos long, then you go, oh, wait a minute. Then this is like the deepest. I mean, let me put it to you this way. I'm going to go and feature something real quick on this recording here on the screen. One moment here, let's see. Here you see this video posted actually already 5 months ago, May 2nd, 2025, 50th Gate of Understanding. I've titled it slightly differently. This is part 2, there's a part 1, and I didn't even put a part 3, which I meant to. But why do you think I've been delayed in unfolding everything that I'm doing? Because you and people like you, there are so many of different variants of people like you though, everywhere actually, you're all slowing me down. Because by the new correct format of reality and programming and modality, man must stop what he's doing, never worship the physical above all, rather tend to the moral, spiritual, and rebuke program. In the new world, you know what the law is going to be? If you have a job or a task or some campaign assignment you're on, and it's not going to be really, there's going to be money in the future, it's going to be a little different, and it's the near future now. You don't go do a task and worship the task for the sake of the task. If someone offended you yesterday, and you woke up the next day, and someone offended you, and you need to rebuke them, well today, the culture is, well, I got to go to work. Guess what the new thing is? No, just like there's sick leave, there's gonna be moral leave. The highest form is gonna be what? Someone screwed you and didn't apologize to you? You don't go to work, quote unquote. The world will stop so everyone runs to that person's house with cameras. But you see with insight how, if we really had a culture and programming of civilization like this, evil will not survive for 5 minutes anywhere. Man, then, for the first time ever, will all ubiquitously, uniformly live with as high of a dignity experience as if he were King Charles or Prince William and Princess Diana and whoever else. All get this experience, automatic, as your birth certificate here on earth. Can you imagine? Do you know what the concept, the strictly Jewish concept really, the Christians twisted it slightly, thinking you gotta die and go up to heaven. That's not what we said. You took it wrong, idiots. It's that we're supposed to make it heaven here. Literally make it paradise on earth, idiots. And your own Jesus told you that in the prayer he gave you. You just lost context, which is the same disease we have now. He said, on earth as it is in heaven. Exactly. This is not heaven, therefore you failed. Your way doesn't work, or it would have accomplished it by now, naturally. We're the only ones speaking sense on this earth. It damn feels like it. this video, 50th Gate of Understanding of Messiah, of Mashiach, of Dignity. They're all one and the same. I want you to understand that where in some of these videos I do a lot of compilations of the select things that other people have said in a lot of ways, and many people on this earth have not heard me speak. You see, these humans don't know what the hell my capacity and personality really are like. They don't know anything. But on this one video here, it's pure me. I want you just to see the one comment notable that I got on this video here, naturally coming up from someone, because this will be the impression setter. You know, the thing that Amalek did in the reverse wrong way, and that all narcissists still do, and indignators on this earth, everyone who's ever guilty of any physically manifest action ever made and received, ever, even once, anywhere, that is condemnable. Get this. How do you like that? If it's your son at 2.5 hours here, you should really go watch this video and actually watch part 1 first, then part 2, which is this one. It's on its own playlist, and both have the 50th Gate phrase and title to it. This is a comment that came in naturally from someone who simply listened to the stuff, read the thing produced, all by me and the AIs I work with it, featured, and show this off. One person came in and wrote, "Usually I don't even comment on stuff, but hey man, you guy who made this video and these couple videos,
by the way, we haven't actually fully flipped. So this video again, reading the comment. So consider the realistically now, right? In reality, in the situation, the depth and profundity, how profound it is, that someone naturally felt as a reaction of what I put to make this kind of comment. I felt that really this is one of the few instances where the real level of where I'm operating at even barely touches at this level and goes beyond and in different places. That I was even able to articulate it sufficiently here. One person naturally wrote out and said, "Usually I don't comment on stuff at all." So this is a person with this handle name here who doesn't even bother writing comments. And yet they wrote a comment here, right? Continuing. But, as I say, this material, this video that you made here is so profound that it shook me on a different level. Wow. I mean, hey, mom or anybody else on earth, when's the last time you saw any video ever on a YouTube thing or whatever that's just so profound that it shook you on a quote-unquote different level? Okay, so if you find that, you see, there's people alive naturally who can't help but say that when they come across my stuff. All right, it's not about me, but the point is, what are we working with? What's the reality of what we're dealing with and seeing here? Just so that you appreciate the level. It's good for you to do that, right? To resonate onto these kinds of things, and like this. So it goes on further to state, this commenter. That's right. He says, he or she, I mean, Eastern philosophy is in terms of good and evil, a few steps further than Western, in a kind of way, perhaps. But this explains. This video of yours, man, to me, explains the missing part. Oh my God, I found the missing part for real? Do you mean people aren't just, nobody knows that this video exists or that I made it or who I am on here really? Most of the people that come across this channel don't connect my fuller, broader, it's very interesting, okay? The merit itself has people shook that it seems someone discovered what Western philosophy couldn't get, and even Eastern philosophy, you know, Buddhism, they only got a little closer, they still didn't fully get it. I'm the one who created the perfect full system and all the missing parts. Wow, how'd I do that? Okay, so there's something, this is just a tiny fraction of what my mind comprehension of the reality is. Do not think I'm you are insulting me every time you fail to treat me at the level that I deserve to be treated at. But that's super broadly speaking, ballpark similar to what every man should be treated by his own mom anyway, always, forever anyway. See the deal? Kinda. Let's continue with this comment. But this explains the missing part. That's profound. It goes on. Magnificent content. I guess for a shocking revelational experience. This is amazing, right? Wow, he or she had this experience so profound, like shocking revelational for me? How'd they do that? You mean this isn't just some crazy planet? Everyone's pointing at me and saying, Mashiach, Mashiach, for no reason, but they're all crazy? Oh, you think there's some merit actually underlying, corresponding, even that they don't realize? Somehow they realize on something else, and then yet another independent sliver here also roughly corresponds to what something from such a figure, such a one would come out looking like. Anyway, wow, that's unbelievable. Cross-reinforcing stuff, even, if one could consider that. Shocking, right? Or surprising, or is it really? Maybe not. Maybe not so surprising, it shouldn't be. Let's continue. Magnificent content, and proceeding from there, he or she writes, I guess for a shocking revelational experience, only a very few number of people will know about this, because there's such few views on here, until the time has come. And the part with everyone will be Mashiach. That's a reference to the fact that the teaching, one of the aspects of teaching, is not my own. This is part of the standard Jewish prophetic body of what we know the future will be, which is what I re-mention here, of course, and refer to, but highlight and relate to other concepts in a new and good way, basically, is that it's not that just that there's one Mashiach and then two Mashiachs, it's that every human being eventually, on the full culmination, unlocks the Mashiach aspect of their soul and then also fulfills and activates as a Mashiach in the commonality. Everyone, the whole population becomes like Mashiach. Is the final goal of the Messianic era. Oh my God. Okay? So that part where everyone will be Mashiach hits it with scripture. I mean, he is called firstborn, the Mashiach, not only begotten child. It goes on to state, damn, it's so exciting to even imagine how it will be. In some sense, it's imaginable, I guess, right? In some sense it is, but I'm sure the real thing will be even better. Baruch Hashem. Incredible. Wow. Okay, so returning to this kind of, sort of almost nightmare of an email to me, the way I receive it, and it's definitely not unreasonably so, I'll say, I'm going to highlight the reality of the truth again, just in a short way, okay? I'm not cleaning it because you owed to clean it, and I'm sassy and arrogant enough to know that, so I'm going to force torture you with the fact that I just won't clean it till you fucking learn how to be a moral parent, where a moral parent would be collaborating with their son and in unification and harmony with them, such that there's no angry people with each other, so everyone is in good relation? Okay, good. So now, because everyone's participating in each other's lives, then, now we can have the apartment clean, because you're a good mommy now. Get it? I'm training you. Stupid. And I'm almost a little excessively mean here, but I'm leaning into it for the sake of effect at this point. And at the level you frustrated me, it's not completely unreasonable that I am led to this emotionality and this frustration. So the new paradigm for the new Messianic age is, hey, whoever caused the frustration at the root level gets you get the whole deserving back thing with as much lean into it as is deserved, bordering onto unreasonable but not unreasonable. Wow. That means it's good and holy to purposely make it more severity for you. New laws, new God frequency. Do you see? It's holy to beat you verbally in the right context. See, people missed that before. But you see, if the old way worked, I'm going to say it again, you would have had a better planet. Everyone would have been happier. Because when you have the true God laws, everyone magnetically goes like iron to the magnet. You can't help but fly. People here help but fly. In fact, they resist the current best understandings of what the godliness and all this stuff is supposed to be, because it isn't really correct fully. It doesn't work enough. That's why it said Moshe got only to the 49th level of understanding, not the 50th gate. But they say, we know Messiah is going to be the one who gets the one gate higher than Moses did. The current Bible and Old Testament is basically, and Torah is basically Moses' best grasp of what was brought down and perceived to the level that he was able to get it to written down in words as the formulation at the level of form. To carry out the substance that it's supposed to correspond to and represent. But it's imperfect. If it were perfect, he would have been full Mashiach, and it would have been the Messianic age from Mount Sinai, you see? But it wasn't.
people could choose out, and often did. Come on now. So then something's not working really perfectly, right? Okay. Continuing. The moral law is you, because you owed to be in the life of a person dealing with the things I'm dealing with in a way that's collaborative, beneficial. You don't first screw me morally, get me mad and indignant, and then step away naturally because of this, and mixed with the fact of the brain damage, or you see I'm eating ice cream and it goes into my skull and makes my skull grow, which you've seen on video and with your eyes, and you've seen the thermal camera results, and Sarah touched my eyeball when it became hot after the hot tea went to the behind my eyeballs, and she screamed, and she's like, oh my God, you're not crazy, I'm fucking feeling it. She starts freaking out too. I'm like, yes, I got someone else to seeing it. I'm horrendously damaged and you're just standing there, people, fuck you, etc., etc. You see, it's that God tests morally. It's the difficult moral test, nothing else. I'm going to keep standing here with brain tissue literally rolling out from the hole that's in the back of my throat. It's not my job to do anything in the hidden moral dimension that's revealed now. My job is to look at you and go, you going to wake up? You going to wake up? How long is this? I don't even know where this cut off. Hey, keep that in the same problem. Unless I'm touching the screen every minute, it's just going to stop recording. Okay. I don't even know what you heard. I don't know if this cut off a minute ago, 2 minutes ago. Then I keep talking and talking, and then I realize it's off. So whatever. What am I talking about? It's your moral obligation to step up and go, regain landing and grounding and touch down on, I'm supposed to do this now and do that. It's that simple. It's such a mindlessly easy paradigm. All you have to do is literally just listen and do. Listen and don't do the thinking. That's not for you. You can't handle that part. We told you that already. Just listen, do, least resistance path like water flowing down a slope. Everything else you try to do is death. Fucking and impossible. And you kill reality with your shit and kill the dignity of people. Oh, fuck. I mean, we've gone through this enough. Okay, so instead of you going, the mess, yeah, I'm your teacher with the fucking mess. You get it? I know what I'm doing. I'm the cause for your suffering now because I'm teaching you that you're the cause of, at the meta level higher, of why you're not moving. I'm your shepherder. I'm going to force you like sheep to go the other way you're supposed to go. You're not going to redirect me like I'm sheep. I direct you like you're sheep. So this is a sheep shepherd meta battle who's got the higher window and the higher frame. But it's always the guy with the actual right perception and rightness of the situation morally by God who has the correct shepherding license. Can't put it that much better than that. I'm your teacher now. You bow to the teaching, you're right. I'm sorry, son. I should not be withholding the correct things and then expecting you to jump through my hoops. That's arrogant and stupid. So the natural frustration is that you will prolong it so I could go through my harder suffering because you're teaching me with my own suffering that I'm supposed to be learning from my own suffering because I'm the stupid one who actually prolonged my own suffering. You see how it goes from me back to you, the responsibility? That's the point. You eat it, you crumple, you become a phoenix arising new because I will burn you down to evil so you can reborn fresh like the phoenix. Now relive again in purity. Do it. You get it? Because I told you, that's why. I don't know why this is so difficult. It shouldn't be. Good. Any questions? I hope not. We're good. Continuing. Did you learn yet? Remember, high man doesn't worship physicality. He loses the ability to tend to physicality and needs other men and women to tend to physicality on the hierarchy, right? The king himself is not a slave. We understand that paradigm. Pharaoh and all this. So understand something. Man in his higher quality also. You have to realize in one aspect, he goes to war, he kills, he dies for whatever he believes in. And you have to realize also that today, we don't have people who, tak bardzo po polsku powiem, chętnie idą do wojny. In the last 50, 70 plus years, our culture has been to, not love to run to go to war, but back in the day, the example was used, I think I heard it somewhere, I'll repeat it. For example, you'll see 2 million Chinese, and the Chinese just are running up and, like crazy soldiers, fighting for the king, the god, their beliefs going and dying, and they're just dying by crazy numbers. You wonder why. Why are they showing up? So many just running into death all to get killed. Why? There's an interesting Kabbalistic explanation that's accurate. That's called, that's Malchus. That's the spheres of corresponds basically to kingship, into that kind of energies. There's a lot more to it than what I'm saying with basic words here. But the essence of it is that when you have that aspect, present in the current situation, your programming and your interaction with what's happening energetically, when it's going through that spheres of kingship, kingdom, or malchut, right, like that, it enlivens a new aspect and capability and relationality and mode and modality. So now you will get up and kill and die for what you believe in the most. Okay, so every man has kingdom orientation and his higher activation. That's morality, basically, right? A proper kingdom runs on good morality, because that's the king's job, is to make rules so that morality is enforced in the big picture. That's my job as the oldest male of the family line. Never mind about Mashiach or anything else. If I'm the man of the house and you're like a woman and you're my mom, but you're still a woman and you don't know what you're talking about, and not just a theory, you don't know what you're talking about because that's the saying. No, you don't know anything enough to run anything. I've seen this. It's chronic. I don't care you don't believe it. That's part of your dysfunction. You don't believe it. You're that low in poor judgment, poor insight into yourself. You have no self-comprehension. It's the worst I've ever seen among the worst. Too bad if you don't like reality. I'm telling you the facts. You know, you're going, well, it's not true. Yes, it is, and anyone who's going to see both sides will agree with me. You can't hide from the truth. Continuing. We then go on to state that, so you go on to write, actually, it's a health hazard for you to be there. The situation affects many people in the building, not just your place. Aha, exactly. And yet, even with this amount of high pressure, you still don't do that for the sake of your own son in a health hazard and other people? Aha, exactly right. That's my point. Look at that. I'm plugging back to you. How dare you allow a situation, because I won't move until I'm morally dignified, because that's man's honor. I will never move until you dignified me. Did you understand that formula in relationship with man, woman, man relation, all of life, and man across man also? Let's have respect. If you don't respect me, I'm not going to do nothing for you. You can all die. That's man's war. So women don't go to war, women armies. Men will kill because you defy the law. Get it? So if you break my law, we'll fucking burn everything and kill. And we're prepared to die for it. That's malchus, basically. You have no choice. It's not make that a psychological disorder. Please, somebody, please. No, at some point, personality and principles on morality, even if not common in the population, but still somewhat reasonable, defensible in a certain context enough, that's it. Then that's just the personality. That's how the person wants to be. You cannot just explain away anything out of like, call it the mental disorder, please. No, I'm purposely making it so that you're learning as a moral principle, so that morally there will be a cleaning. Every day I wake up and I say, yes, my situation now is morally owed that my mom will come, bow the knee, bend, sorry, John, defer to me, and in 3 days we are cleaning, and it's done. Every time you didn't come to make apology, you stopped my house from being cleaned. How dare you? But I'm not the one who has to jump through hoops, because if you're the wrongdoer but I jump through your hoops, I'm killing God if I do that, and I could never do that. That's horrible for me even to say out loud. It's like, can't even conceive of it. That's what it would be, but I can never allow such a thing because I'm aligned with God. Get it? I'm principally aligned to stop you from ever experiencing that the person you wronged will help you in your ideas. If I did that, I'm not a man anymore. I'm a boy. He listens to his mommy. I can never let that happen. It's actually more grown up for me to teach morality, even if it's to the mother herself, than for me to bend falsely to a false morality just to please mommy. That's evil. That's twist. That's so bad. So on pure principle, yeah, it's ugly that it's messy, but you're going to learn that way. Because once you put the final plug, I'm the reason that I'm the stupid self. You need to go to the mirror, hurt yourself, cry, punch yourself, say, I'm sorry, God, I must love my son, and come down and fucking broken down. Psychologically, then you are okay. Then that's good. Then you have a hope of being saved. You understand? Then in 3 days you can have it, even with other people's help mixed in, and your help and my help. I'm not going to do it alone because of dignity. You're there cleaning with me. I'll clean most of the house while you're there with me. And you see? You're stupid. It's about honor. It's about morality. I'm teaching you, fucking dumbass. It's not about the cleaning. It's about, did you honor God through me, as all human beings honor God through how well we all treat each other by moral consideration. There's no way you could miss the key aspect of what I just said. Continuing. So you go on to state, and so then I say to you, stop jeopardizing other people's comfort by continuing the attempt to make a frame inversion, because that's what you're doing. Remember, every single aspect of what you've done in our entire thing has been a frame inversion. I'm going to say one more thing. Do you realize that when you came to my house 2 days after we met in Prospect Park in August, you then came to my house and you did? There's no problem then. You were cleaning fine. Just for a little while. Until you broke the rules, which I wrote about in the video. And even though you watched the video, you didn't apologize, so you're in worse offense. So now you owe to beat yourself even harder by my command. I command you, beat yourself. When do you learn? You don't. The problem with you is that you don't have remorse and shame when you're caught, told what you did wrong is wrong. Doing wrong should always equal the equal proportion of shame in you. What are you doing, robot? Twistor? Hell is this? Sick. Have the shame. It's yours to own. Stop disowning it and separating from it. You have a weakness in your spirit, trying to run away from what's yours. Twist of shit. Pretending you don't understand anything, or conveniently trying to slip away from understanding correct morality and principles and godlike. You did wrong, you messed up, you must pay. It's such an easy formula, it's so obvious to anyone in existence with open eyes. Okay? So, I mean, I don't know how else to say this. Just get it. Okay? The whole thing has been you trying to dodge guilt. But you remember at my house, for the first 4 hours, I was retelling you every event and every detail that happened from 4, 5, 7, 8 years ago on all those critical days and the stories there. And it took, realize you didn't see yourself wrong back then, but then now, 7, 8 years later in 2025, when I tell you the story, now you realize that the things you did 7 years prior were all bad. And one after another, you're like, oh, you're right, John, I'm sorry, that was wrong. Another, oh, you're right, John, again, I'm sorry, I didn't realize, now I see it's wrong. And again, now I see that we did 4 hours of that over and over again, until eventually you just got to a point where you didn't want to feel like you were wrong anymore. And, well, that's where the progress ends. God says, keep bowing in shameful tshuva, confession, repentance, shame, that's healthy. Keep doing more. Don't stop it. That's what kills the God connection. That's obvious, huh? Okay, continuing. So now you realize that if all the things you did on one casual day, you found years later, all of it was wrong. Well, what do you think you're doing now? You didn't learn from that at a meta level? Now, you spend the whole day going, oh, you're right, that was wrong several years ago, that was wrong a few years ago. And then now you go, oh, but now today, oh, I'm going to argue, oh, I don't know. No, there's still the same self-blindness. What is it going to take 5 years later? I have to tell you, in 2030, you're going to go, oh, you're right, in 2025, that was all wrong with me. No, learn at the meta level. I'm always right anyway. If I open my mouth, I'm right. If you think a thought, you're wrong, just because you thought the thought. Most easy general principle ever in existence. That's the safest place you could start because it's the most moral place you could start. God essentially said, and even in the New Testament too, basically, woman, your job's not to stand there and be right and haughty. Ever. That's the worst. Don't think. Don't try to exert yourself and teach people. Man is your teacher. You're not man's teacher. Forget it, even if you're the mother. Your job's to make people's lives easier. That's the only thing God's going to judge you in heaven when you die. Okay. If that's the only standard that determines right and wrong, he's going to go to your life now, today, and say, okay, you wrote this email to John. Did this make his life easier? Or are there any easier options that make John's life better and easier, more dignified? And he says, yeah, actually, as the judge, he sits there and he says, yeah, no, if he actually didn't write this crap email and said you went to him, apologized to him because he actually was right and you actually were wrong and it was your stubbornness and ego that had it that way, but because you refused this, you robbed him of dignity, so now I will rob you of dignity. You go to hell. You like that basic framework, consistent with the Christianity also? How do you like that? It's not so great, is it? That's the only reality you would get in such a paradigm. When are you going to wake up and realize what's going on? Correctly assess what the standards are by which you appraise and judge any situation, what the reality is of something. Stop living in a delusion and a lie and running away from truth. It's disgusting. So again, you continue to do it. There's something extremely important which will clarify things, so it's a good thing. And you conditionalize it a sentence prior, then we can meet and discuss all the important things. Only when you jump through my hoops, mommy says. No, but even you offering and trying that is another offense at it. You must pay with severity, hang yourself in shame. I get it. Figuratively, spiritually, whatever. Be slumped over in shit till you get it. It's your shit. I accept I suck. That's what you need to do for yourself. Okay, continuing. And then do it to clarify things, to participate in your own paradigm. Listen, not only is there a realistic risk because of how inept the system is, that anytime I participate in it and actually choose to give full, balanced, nuanced truth, that the person sitting across from you would misinterpret something and go, oh, okay, I'm trying to catch fish and I'm trying to catching symptoms, take it out of context, mix and mash up. Oh, I bet I could form and create some kind of diagnosis if I link these dots together a little uneven, but it mostly works if I kind of blur my eyes a little bit and fragmentize. Okay, give him a diagnosis. No, you fucking idiot. That's not really in reality. Note that the previous video I sent you, part 3 of the other thing, discusses the dynamics of that and with my father and how generally is a little deeper. You also remember for me, they did the same thing to me. So 2 generations of my family experienced wrong handling. And you know that this kind of thing is prevalent in the system. You've heard about it for 30 years, that's how it is. Why would I go to that same system to dignify you in a false way? but it's false. You just want control over a situation, and you design and dream in your false perceptive mind, non-perception for real, that, oh, then he'll have a thing, so then I get to call him schizophrenic, and it's easier for me because it's more stable for my mommy's mind, for my heart's peace. Now I can say, everything's okay, because now that my son has a diagnosis, I can more easily categorize him, so I have stability around knowing where to place him in my mind. Like, with ease, he's just a sick person, and, you know, nothing else than that, so that's fine because it's stable. So you love stability, you know, you don't love truth, that's a betrayal of God. Kill yourself. Metaphorically, physically, figuratively, I would rather. Okay? So I'm not going to be nice with my words. Okay, when I talk to you like this, I'm talking to you more mean on these recordings now than I was in person at the Whole Foods. Whole Foods is like a slightly nicer and more put together. To have a conversation like this with you in a public space and an argument-like thing when you're the one actually morally wrong and depriving me, that's not insanity needing mental, psychiatric help. That's the reframing attempt of a woman who's in actually the wrong, but wants to borrow from life on some shelf, some invisible power to just wave a magic wand almost. No, I don't want to lose. Make it go my way. I want to be right. To flip the frame and interpretive script. No, we're not going to accept this kind of crap anymore. And the sad thing is, you don't even realize fully you're doing it. It's like half subconscious with you, which is even worse because it just shows that you're even less aware of reality, what's going on, because you're doing it like automatic from a subconscious that's twisted at the root level in the invisible subconscious. That means you're less reliable because you're not even aware. You have no basis. Okay, so then, you know, no. Get somebody else to agree with you, then I would owe on somebody else's merit that therefore there is multiple people who are in agreement that I have some potential problem that's plausible enough and significant that in the situation I'm the one who morally owes. Remember, a man doesn't physically owe anything. He always morally decides whether I should do something, but to jest the right thing to do morally. Ja powinien to zrobić, bo tak powinno to być zrobione. See, that's a moral evaluation, not a physical one. Man's mind says, ja powinien, bo powinien poprawnie przez Pana Boga, jak rzeczy Pan Bóg najwięcej, what the principles are of holiness that apply. Not because potrzeba, bo fizycznie tak będzie lepiej. A man really doesn't think like this. You don't know that? Then you need to learn. Now learn it. Good. So you add, furthermore, do not make any more videos with my emails or messages in them. Get help and move forward. You get help. You're not moving forward. And I'm not being facetious. And literally, you're the fucking screwball in this situation. Morally, which is the only dimension that counts. Stop hurting people. You're the only one hurting people unfairly. Everything I'm doing to you is either reacted, where you are the provoker, where the responsibility then goes to you, and I'm leaning into it so you learn better and faster, number one. And number two, it's all you. You're driving me crazy, so to speak. And I'm still good enough that I'm working with you, number two. And number three, wake up. What's going on in the last few months and now that I'm telling you what's going on in the last year? That's the guy who you want to start reframing? Hey, no, he's crazy. What's the payoff for you? Nothing. It only makes you look worse because once it appears reasonably from the fact that you're the twisted one, then what happens to me? My rise continues. Your story comes along with me. You suffer in the future more by being bad now, morally bad, which is denying your wrongdoing here. Your wrongdoing should be clear. I don't know how to repeat this over and over again. I've kept saying the same thing over and over for 3 years. In the fullness, what's wrong with you? You don't hear, you don't have ears? Stupid, you're just stupid. Continuing, get help you desperately need. There is no help I desperately need. Get it? It's all perfectly designed. It's all perfectly made for God's perfect will. It literally can't be more perfect. It's scary how true that is. That's one of the truest things ever. It's more true that it's like holy high, cross-dimensionally true. Infinitely true, almost, like practically. Blow out of this universe true. The fuck? There's nothing here that is a situation where I'm doing something wrong that I owe morally, that you should be my shepherder. That's never gonna happen. So let me tell you this. Look at all this email. Look at everything, all the resistance you've been giving me for 3+ years now. I am never going to do anything your way, ever. If and only if and always when it is also the case that I find you to be immoral, and it's objectively true that you're immoral. So, by the way, here is the other problem. Anytime you deny that you are in the wrong when I said you're in the wrong, you're denying not only my sanity, you're denying my competence in making judgments and appraisals. Are you out of your fucking... That's even more offensive than anything else in a way. Why? Because I'm pretty damn good at making judgments and appraisals. I'm actually one of the best alive ever on earth on this, and that's not a delusion. You can literally test me. God, if I score super high on IQ, And then I say, yeah, and I know by my internal that my rank in IQ is nothing compared to my rank in EQ and morality evaluation. I would feel like Einstein knows by feel how much superior he is in his physics understanding than all the other professors in his department and his universities. Like that, like Michael Jordan in basketball knows when he's bouncing his ball. He knows he's like way better than everyone else he has on all his other professional teams. It's the same with me. It's not inaccurate. It's literally, he's in it, he's wielding it, he's very comfortable, he's so expert in knowing the workings that he knows he's ahead of everybody else because he sees where everybody else's gaps are in interaction, okay? It's the same with me on morality. I am literally the most moral person in the world by the new pure raw morality that is unstructured. That's the key. You have it structured in a weird way on this planet, so I'm purposely, like a demon, like a Lucifer, bringing the test, which makes a hard chemical reaction like sodium in water. It's like the sodium isn't wrong, it just forces a reaction in order to move the energy. I'm purposely moving the energy. I know exactly what I'm doing. Do you think it's true? How do you think I move by pure instinct since awakening from the coma, knowing what I'm doing, and I end up in a position where people are calling me the Messiah for a year? I don't accidentally fall into a situation. I know exactly what I'm doing. I should frighten fucking everybody on earth. So you think I have confidence in that and then no confidence? I don't know what fucking right and wrong are. You're out of your mind. You're so stupidly arrogant. You need to be humbled. You're going to pay the biggest godly price I hope you do if you don't correct yourself. Get it. Stupid. There's no help you desperately need. The only help needed is help for you to stop being evil. Because you're killing me by frustrating me to the point that I'm yelling at you harder and harder because you're imprisoning me with beatings as my warden. But I'm like, let me go, stop torturing me. That's man when a woman tries to dominate him. It's torture. You must pay. We hate women like this. All of you, doesn't matter who you are. Any woman that thinks she's gonna think an idea and be man's controller is worthy of death. Your job is to make man's life easier, not to outthink man. You don't have the capacity. It's a dream. To suggest it is treason, heinous, fucking arrogance. It's just been nice to you when that's all done. That's twistedness. You're fucking idiotic. You're so out of control and you believe, he's wrong, get him help, get him help. No, get you help because you're the one who's killed your familial relationships and doing other insane things too. Fucking hell. Everything is quacko crazy. Get help, you. Whatever the fuck that even means. Get help from exactly wherever it's possible to get it. But help yourself. For sure. Okay, thank you. No, thank me when you listen to me. Enough for this, and we'll reply to the text message that you also sent me recently as well. All right. But before we move on to the text message that you most recently sent and the response I'm going to make to it, also like this, over video recorded a verbal message, I am going to share just a quick few things that came across my mind to kind of further explain, really, by the right paradigm, what the problems are, or various aspects of the problems that currently are outstanding or active in the field space, in the zone between us and our lives here, you see, okay? Let me explain one thing. So we remember that when we went to Landmark Education, and by the way, Landmark's a good example. You know, when I went, I learned with such high plasticity, it completely reformed completely my ability to see and read the world and the patterning and how I thought. It actually helped expand my awareness. It actually set my whole direction of thinking in a way. You know, now when I look back, actually if I didn't do that program, I would have probably not fully ever woken up, which is interesting. That was one of the first things that seeded continual momentum in that direction, where had it not been, it was a butterfly effect. If you know what that means, of course you should. Who the hell knows anything with you, really? I don't mean to insult you, but I don't know nothing with you. I don't know what the hell you know. Sometimes I'm like, I don't think she knows 2 + 2 is 4. I have to go out of my way to explain things. It's nuts. You realize that you have to repost the link every time I send you a text? You know, I never do that with anyone else. Everybody else, I assume they're competent enough to scroll up and discover the text. With you, I treat you like you're a retarded 5-year-old, because that's how you are my whole life to me. Like, I don't know, I said watch the video, then I'll send another link. Hey, did you watch the video? You could say anything. Oh yeah, I watched it, and then later you didn't watch it. Or, oh, where is it? I lost it. Oh my God, it's 2 texts up. You're the only person I do this to. Send it over and over, just in case, just to prevent, because I don't trust that you won't skip or run over a text or get lost in nothingness from so simple. It's crazy. You're the worst, most untrustable person I've hardly ever dealt with. Okay? So now, but if you remember that program, and also I mean to mention, look in contrast how I took the program and it had an effect. You took the program, nothing. You didn't get nothing. You just sat there for 3 days and came back to me and said, oh, I don't know. He was speaking English, but he had an accent a little bit, but I really couldn't understand anything. So, oh well. Oh, God. It can't be that hard. You're speaking English, but I don't know. It's something like this. It's pattern recognition. See, let me put it to you this way. If your neural networks in your brain aren't good enough to decipher English anymore when the accent changes a little bit, you're not good at discovering truth because you can't dig to find what's there. Okay, but if on the other hand, a guy could hear every accent and every hidden thing and accurately pick it out, that guy's good robustly at ascertaining truth in any dynamic or dimension or domain. See this? It's aptitude. You don't have it. So that we know not to trust you for evaluation of anything. You are never closer to reality than I am. Ever. In any appraisal, with anything ever. It's the safest bet I could ever make. It's sad that I'm saying it, but it's true. So, but if you remember, anyway, I mentioned that program because they have this concept of the already always listening. If you remember that term or phrase from that long weekend, it should have been life-changing for you, just did nothing. Okay? The already always listening. What ends up happening is that, you know how we have like a certain kind of pre-installed listening, okay, that we have of other people? So let's say that you, okay, I'm talking about you. You now will have two people in your life. Let's say I'll be one of them off to one side, and to the other side of you, you have just somebody else, somebody like the standard. Maybe they have a well reputation. Maybe I don't know who. Some coworker of yours, some boss, could be, and some partner. Maybe I don't know if I trust Marek. He's a little twisted in his own way, and I'm tilted over the wrong way in some ways. I don't know, but whoever, just somebody. Okay. Now, let's say you go have a meeting with that person, and you're half friends, or he's your colleague or something. I don't know. Okay, but he's like a respected guy. Okay, he seems smart. Okay, he has a degree. Maybe he was a professor somewhere. And that whole thing. Okay, now he's sitting there. What is? Okay, continuing, this thing keeps shutting off. Next, what I was saying. So imagine you're sitting next to this colleague or whoever it is, okay? Now, they start speaking. As I was asking, what is your already always listening of that person? Well, it's, before he even starts talking or saying anything, you have pre-installed your pre-impression of where he's supposed to be mapped onto your psychological impressional space of how much credit and appraisal you're giving him to take how seriously you're going to take him, okay? Now, by the way, that might not have anything to do with how much sense or how smart the guy actually is once he starts opening his mouth. Whatever. Now, people talk and say a lot of things all the time. And you don't know really when they're making sense, or when it's coherent in reality, or when it's not. People who are great at perceiving will accurately perceive the level of other people, but poor perceivers will also poorly perceive those who are poor perceivers as not being poor perceivers. You see the twist, the inversion within the inversion? Very key. Now, you haven't been seeing these things in your life, or you don't know. But so let's say before we sit down, that's the guy. Okay, now he's going to start talking, and he's going to tell you, let's just say he's going to tell you, 20 facts within the course of some casual conversation he's going to talk to you about. Could be about anything. Acupuncture and medicine and cosmology and some science and whatever the hell else. Okay? And he's going to start talking. He says, listen, when these workshops happen here, this and that, and this team does that, you see? And you'll be like, oh, really? Yeah, okay. When that plumbing thing goes in there and the circuitry is like that, you see? All right, that's okay, Okay. He's going to continue whatever on earth he's talking about. Maybe he'll turn into morality. He's also a moral guy, and then when those people were wrong, when they violated those rights over there, oh yeah, they violated those rights. Yeah, you'll just agree. It makes sense to you because the label makes sense. Do you get what I'm saying? So you're already always listening of that guy is, he's high and everything he says makes sense. Whether or not he's making sense, he makes sense. That's your preset up. Okay? And unless there's something flaming alarming about what he's saying, it's not going to change your status very much. You're going to be in status quo. So he'll say almost anything, and it's mostly everything kind of should. I believe it. Okay, I believe it. There's, you see? Now, let's say we switch the situation. So that was you sitting down with him. Now you're going to sit down with me. Okay? It's sad that I'm using myself as the example here. I shouldn't properly be that example. To your twisted mind and the life how it's formed in this reality, sadly, it is, disgustingly. So I'm going to use myself as the example because this is actually how you treat me. I'm going to highlight this. Okay? But but even before I use myself, let me use somebody else. Let me use someone who very openly has some reputation, okay? He's been diagnosed with various psychiatric problems, very serious. You are told by some intermediary friend before you're introduced, yeah, he has a lot of, history, and he's got twisted delusional schizophrenics, and he just says a lot of stuff, and his life's a failure, doesn't do anything, he's basically non-functional, and nothing makes sense with this guy. And then you just go, no, okay, you have them mapped on your mind space, okay?
Then he starts talking. For whatever reason, you still need to have some kind of conversation with him, with that guy, okay? He's going to tell you 30 facts in some conversation, okay? Could be any conversation. Let's say he starts talking about anything, acupuncture, health, engineering, electrical wiring, morality. Could talk about, those people over there, did you know they have those rights? And you're just going to be like, oh, yeah, okay, sure, whatever, some rights, yeah, sure, all right, okay. Hey, and the technical things, they're like, oh, yeah, sure, technical things, oh, yeah, okay, whatever you say, And he's like, what the fuck, I'm saying real shit. You see? He'll continue. And when we're having this thing, blah, 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 blah. Oh, yeah, I don't, what are you saying something? I'm sorry, I'm not even listening, paying attention. What are you talking about? You see what you're doing to him? Now, at the end of that conversation, when you walk away with him versus in the parallel world, parallel dimension, alternate world where you walked away from the first guy with a high reputation, from the first one, you would have said, oh, very interesting, so listen, so good, he told me such great things, I remember them all. Somehow you actually will remember them all, you actually learned it, because you subconsciously didn't resist, so you allowed yourself to accept it, and so it actually embedded in your mind. You could repeat it, you remember it, it's amazing. He said, yeah, I learned this, I learned that. And he had a good insight, and he said this and that. And they'd be like, wow, oh my God, okay, great, okay, good. Now, compare that to the latter of the two situations, where you talk to that guy with the other reputation. So you set your already always listening essence modality in your mind pre-installed as being the opposite, like, oh, he's just going to talk whatever, I'm not going to open my mind to it even. I'm just going to go, okay, whatever, and it's just anything could be quackery, so you just imagine that it is quackery, you're going to give it that energy. Okay. Then at the end of that conversation, you leave and you summarize with somebody else, and you debrief, and they say, what'd you get from the conversation, what happened? You're just like, I don't know, I was talking about some stupid, jakiś Pruski chciał mówić, said something acupuncture, but who knows what he's saying, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't, sure, no, I don't know, it doesn't matter what you say. See the problem? Okay, now I'm going to tell you the secret. Actually, now go out to objective universe reality, go to God's portal to see inside and look at who is actually saying correct things. Aha, ta-da, here's the trick. God's test revealed. Both of those two were actually saying exactly the same thing. So do you know what the problem is? Is that me and many other men at my level, and less so with women, but still a lot of women at my level if they're at my level, but a certain type of already always listening gives everybody the accurate perception of what their merit is. If I sat down with them as opposed to you, I would have gotten the holistic information equal from both, and I would have said both made perfect sense, but not you. Because you were a slave to your already always listening pre-modality, which interrupts your ability to receive truth from that person because you poisoned and blocked yourself. They didn't do it. That second guy didn't deserve to be not heard by you, but you did that to him anyway. Aha. See that? Never believe yourselves. I always say this over and over. Okay? So you go to the God view, ta-da, they're both the same. Or even better, God's view says the one who was the second person, who had the bad reputation, actually he made more sense. And the guy who was the professor, technically the things he was saying, in God's objective hyper super real reality, was less coherent. You would have been better to worship the second guy's words more. But you in your heart would never believe that on your own without going to God first through transcendental means that you don't have access to. That's why God says, man is your intermediator between yourself, woman, and God. Don't listen to yourself, and you can't access God. Your brain isn't good enough. Basically, it's almost over basic. There's a little more nuance that's important. But on the whole, as applied for here, and especially with you as you are, sadly, all the women are not like that. You are locked. You're low in that measure. It's actually unbelievable. It's very ironic. You and I are very different. Okay? So now put me in the place of that second guy and ask yourself, do you treat me often in that same way? You know what God is when he's testing you so hard that it's almost a riot and ridiculous? Is that he'll create a universe and a reality where it actually happens in reality for real. Other people are saying your son is the Messiah, and you will still give him the kind of listening that you would have given the second person in that story in the prior originality where you'd have discounted him automatically. Oh, I don't know what he's saying, whatever. As you've been doing for me for 5, 7, 10 plus and more years. Exactly like that. Everything that I ever open my mouth, you're just like, oh, you know what? Just all like you turn it into shit and you pre-treat it like shit. Even if it's gold, you say, nah, it's shit anyway. Even if it's gold, I won't see the gold. I'll just say it's shit. That's what you do subconsciously. Who told you to do that? Firstly. And secondly, normally other people don't do that with me. And when they don't, then they actually perceive the correctness and go, holy God. You are one of the smartest human beings I've ever. Again, when you have that pre-filter, there's the wrong one. Here's the moral or immoral aspect of it. Here, it's immoral, okay, or wrong. You damage me when you have the wrong already always listening mode about me. I could say something to you, you give it that kind of treatment. If I exported my words to someone else to read in front of you as a script, where it's some other guy, but you don't know he's reading my script, and he'll just tell you that, you'll treat it like it's God. Wow, he is the best ever. Yeah, that was me. The fuck? You're always doing this shit subconsciously. So again, I ask why? You have no right to do that. It's wrong by morality, and it's unmerited. By merit, it's unfit. You wrongly figured that should be done, where in the merit of the reality of the universe, I never deserved to be given that bad slant. Where'd you get that from? Who the fuck told you? You self-created it in your mind? I don't even fully comprehend fully. I kind of get the different parts, but I still can't reconcile it. Sanity can't understand insanity. You see, even though sanity is sane, sanity is whole and integrous in its inability to understand insanity at the fullest level. You see that? It's very ironic and funny in that way. So continuing, that's my problem with you. Your shit is so twisted, it shouldn't make sense how that's possible that you would discount me. I speak like gold. But I'm going to lead this into the second frame, because actually, ironically, I have half of an answer a little bit. I have half of an answer. Actually, I sort of, the last couple statements of mine were slightly misleading. I'm going to bring it back around. I do actually have a little bit of insight into why. Okay? Why you hear me the way you hear me. Okay? You might not get it, or you might get this. I'm going to tell you a little story. One time, my father was being really nuts and really aggressive and stuff like that. Okay, whatever his deal was, whether he just got on medication that he was not on before, or he got off the medication that he was supposed to be on. Both ways is a bad story sometimes. It's a little weird. It's more complicated than one would imagine. But I don't know what was going on. Maybe he was drinking, or a bad mix, or something was off. It was just a bad deal. And by the way, mixing his meds with other things and drinking, it wasn't necessarily better that he was taking meds and drinking. It would have actually been better if he was drinking and not on all that other meds also, all combined. You see? So the meds being there versus not, it's not a linear relationship. It's more complex. But here's the point. That's basically said. Here's the point. It was such a bad situation. And I remember, and actually, I wouldn't do this kind of thing today. But again, this was probably like, the time in my life where I was still trying to figure out how to interact with the world a little bit. Still the last portions of myself concerned with physicality, like I was criticizing physicality versus morality or spirituality earlier. But, I was in that mode, and actually inherited this from you. You programmed me to kind of be discounting in that kind of way of my own father, because you wrongly basically spoke bad about him. Did you know that in a true perfect reality, your job, despite the divorce and all that, your job was to always still speak extremely highly of him? You didn't do that. All you did was, you know how bad it was, and he did this, and he did that, he's bad. Okay, he's less functional. Look at how less functional he is. Oh, can't we help him? Somebody help him. You're doing that to me now, but you were doing that to him before. See the pattern repeating? It's not the pattern in us, it's the pattern in you. You stopped respecting man. You had a moral obligation to uphold the dignity of man by basically holding him up as God to you, with love, basically put. When you fail to do that, you want to make yourself as God, you'll lower everybody else. That's not what yin is supposed to be. Yin is opposite. So you got it all weird, twisted. We've gone through this before. Again, this is also very basically, crudely put. Almost a little over crude, but good enough for the purpose of bringing a point across, roughly. Okay, so what I did in that situation is I had to record him. Now see, I misspoke again slightly. I didn't have to. But I designed in my mind that the best thing I should have done was to record the conversation I was having with him, for the purpose of, because the case was going to get out of hand, because it actually was some crazy situation. There was police involved already prior. There was going to be police involved again, because I was like, I got to get him help. He's out of, it's only going to happen when we get him a police. I regret actually doing that now. It's one of the few things I did post-coma that I actually admit that was not right of me, and it was an artifact from the inherited mentality I developed from your influence, Mom. Very interesting. And if I could deprogram that, I wouldn't have done that. I would have just said, yes, Father, you are Father. I would never mess with him in any way, even if he's totally, almost completely wrong. Because it's Father. It's a totally different mentality than what you would bring. You want to be the control. Oh, look how bad he is. Oh, fix him. Not working. Not doing. Oh, he's doing drugs. No. Father's God. No matter what he's doing. Almost. Basically almost. See, you never learned that. You never got that. Because Babcha didn't treat Jaja like God. So you didn't see it. But anyone who sees it gets it, and you click into reality. I had to go into a coma to have it re-click, because I didn't inherit it from you. But I have inherited from the world around me anyway. Because I knew enough not to follow you. By instinct. Good, continuing. So I recorded the conversation I had with him. Now here's the thing.
I knew everything me and him were arguing about. I was right on everything. And it's true. If you took the transcript of everything that was said, you read the context and the story in the background, any reasonable person with the full insight and nuance awareness would have assessed and said, yes, the one in the son's position, John, he is technically correct on all these points that they're arguing about. Morally and by merit, John has all the right. Okay, and the father's, sorry to say, the father's technically less in the right. So he's in the losing balance. He's just more wrong. Okay, fair enough. Here's what's interesting. I knew this when I listened to myself, and then when I listened to the person talking to me, and I know what you're saying in the words, in implications and everything. It's automatic. I'm like a super robot sort of like this, okay? But I'm going to share something with you that's actually very interesting, okay? I stopped the recording, or the conversation that I recorded eventually came to a close, okay? Then, later, okay, even though it ended up, after I left, because that day or whatever didn't turn into like the worst case scenario, I was happy, and I said, okay, good. Thank goodness, I'm not even going to need this recording anymore. I'm happy about that. I want peace. So I was ready to just forget about that whole day, because it wasn't some kind of weird, crazy worst case scenario of intensity that had to become police or whatever. So, I basically discarded it shortly thereafter. I never returned to it again, except that I listened to that playback just out of curiosity, because I never heard myself recorded in a live conversation. Actually, I don't think with anyone ever prior to that. So, and with my own father, very interesting. So I just said, okay, well, let me listen to just a couple minutes of what it sounds like when I was in his room talking with him, which again, that's also very bad. I went into his home and did that, and I didn't tell him. It was subversive, right? I really do regret that, just because by principle, I could make an argument for the physical, for security. No, see, the more I learn and grow, no, it doesn't matter. I'm not a security worshiper, a physical worshiper. We're here to give God. I took away from my father's spiritual dignity by doing that. You get it? It's the only thing that matters. Only thing. Physical is nothing. This fucking matrix is nothing. Understand that? This is the hologram test, basically. That's how you should treat it. That's the morality awakening. Big opening. Get it. Get the new paradigm. Get it. Get it. The whole Jewish thing is that, basically. That's right. Continuing. So, but now I'm going to tell you the most interesting characteristic about this conversation. When I heard it back to myself, listening as if it were two other people, right? So that's kind of how you treat it. You play it back and you're listening. You become like the third party, the fly on the wall, so to speak, unto or about your own conversation that you had prior, as if the prior you in the conversation is somebody else, and you're listening to two other people, sort of, right? Let me tell you, when I listened to myself, and I would say a sentence, or say anything, I'd have my turn, I'd say, and then he would say, oh, John, whatever, and I'd say, right, back and forth, the line and line, one back, one forth, one back and forth. Let me tell you what my experience of that really was. It actually completely stunned and surprised what I heard. It opened my realization onto something that I never would have realized if I didn't listen to this. But I want you to listen to both parts. So don't get stuck at the first part, because there's two steps and two levels to what I'm about to tell you. Both of them are important, and the second one is more important. So don't get stuck at the first one. It's going to be 1, 2, and then the 2 dominates over the 1, because it's the final truth and conclusion. You got that? So here's number 1, and then I'll give you number 2. First realization and poziom and level. Even though I had the right, even though, like I told you, if you took a transcript and you read it, and you just dryly read the written transcript without hearing the voices of the people themselves, you would just from the words say, these words make more sense. This guy's right. Okay. But there's a different phenomenology when it comes to humans talking, okay? And people through their voices and stuff like this. So, whatever it is, when you give, let's say, your son the shots, and because of how the shots were, when the adjuvants were formulated in the exact way that they were, it's very interesting. People change, become different. So a lot of people my generation in that cohort, you realize that the bodies of people who are my generation, millennials, you realize we look different than the Generation Z, Gen Z kids now, how they look like, who are 18 to 25 and even 25, 26, 27 years old now. Anyone significantly younger than 30. Their bodies, all their bones are completely shaped different Everything is different about them. They get older much quicker at the same rate that our grandparents, great-grandparents used to get older. Their bones are shaped similar to how grandma, and their parents were shaped. But millennials, we're all like weird and twisted in a different way and just totally different vibrationality. But us, pretty much baby boomers and Gen X, and then millennials were the three generations that had a similar vibration. And then Gen Z went back to being like what our grandparents were. Why is this? It's the vaccine formulation. That's why. They changed something by the time Gen Z started being born around 2000 or late 90s. That's different than what the formulations were 10 years prior. Because of this, it's those formulations that we got over 3 generations that made us a little different. Okay, and then human nature went somehow back more with the humans now. They're like more true to the original human blueprint. It's very interesting. They're much larger. They have large thigh bones. Like I notice this stuff. It's unbelievable. Okay, they think different. They have different resonance. They're actually more in tuned a lot into like the internality. They're more savvy in certain ways, but also we're also savvy in some different ways. You know, and it's just a little different. Okay. So if my generation got the shots that we got, we're all a little different, okay? So we speak different, we talk different, our minds just work different, okay? And it affects everything. It affects the voice, it affects whatever. So here's what. The mind might develop and develop to a point where it's very like high and prophetic and accurate and like a computer. But when I talk like this, it's very annoying. You'll never believe a guy's gonna do it. I'm making over exaggeration, you get it? Now imagine getting into an argument with a guy who's gonna do. You hate that. Just because he sounds like that, your brain will automatically shut off his capacity for you to have the already always listening about him that you would have had for the high professor. Again, this thing shut off. It's unbelievable to control this one. So again, I don't even know where it cut off. Whatever. The point is, so I'm talking with my father in the recording. I'm coming off sounding like, you know, and I'm hearing myself. I hear what I sound like. It's actually surprising to me. And it helps me understand, oh, this is why people never fucking listen to me and don't believe anything I say. This is what I actually remember before I go on to continue with the description of my father's and me, with the recording of the conversation we had. I remember going to Chicago with those seminars for creditors in commerce, mastery in commerce and all this, you remember, from 15 years ago. And they were doing also similar to Landmark style workshop there too. It was like rolled into one, like Landmark style and commerce mixed together. So spiritual, moral, psychological, and creditors, economy, and money and the government stuff. It's crazy. So they married the two somehow. So really great stuff. And while we were there, we were working in groups and we got different partners and assignments. And it was actually even better than the Landmark in some ways. It was a little bit, like they tried to go a little bit deeper, interestingly. You thought Landmark was really deep or strong, right? So I had a partner and we had to give ourselves like really honest feedback, like real open, authentic, like brutal feedback and being super honest and like breakthrough patterns with each other and stuff like this. I remember talking to my partner about whatever it was, having a conversation, and I was being, as I always am, being as earnest as in my full earnestness I was. That is full honesty and always being as authentic as possible. And by that time, I certainly was, I can say. But what really stunned me was that when the partner was giving feedback for me, he was saying, you know, John, and he was a great young kid. I liked him. Rare kid, some kid from Wisconsin. People like, you'd never meet someone like this in New York. And he was like, well, great young guy, great, good heart, like that, like a Johnny Appleseed kind of guy, more than me. So he surprised me a lot. But we were talking, me and him, and then he said his feedback to me at some point in the reviews and cycling. He said, John, I like you a lot, and you're this cool guy from New York and all that, and this is great. And I'm like, yeah. And he says, listen, so my real honest feedback is, I don't know why, it's just that every time you talk and you say all this stuff, and my brain, I just hear you, and everything you say sounds like it's just, like it's totally not authentic, and I can't accept anything you're saying. And I'm just sitting there stunned, and I'm looking at it, and I'm like, God, like what? And I knew not to blame him, because genuinely, if he's saying that, I knew that's not because his brain is fucked up. That's a reflection of what's going on with my emanation pattern when I speak. But that was like a revelation. I'm like, why? No one ever told me that before, and I never really heard myself before. So, but I believed him. he meant it. He was authentic. After I listened to him, I was like, huh, it just was shattering. It changed my understanding of how I fundamentally occur to other people. By perception alone. I knew still I'm always right. And I only got even more right over time because I kept always striving and being right. But here's the ultimate irony. Here's how God hides ultimate righteousness in that which sounds most insane and goofy. I could see sort of karmically or maybe even practically why it's necessary, because you know, if people evolve to grow at stronger strength, whatever it is that they're lacking in. So if someone's talking bullshit, but their bullshit sounds so sweet, if everyone in the world accepts their bullshit easily all the time, that man never feels the instinct or need subconsciously to ever adapt and refine and improve it more. No need. It's always good enough. His low-level bullshit has a nice polish on the outside. Now, you see the opposite programming. If someone's always talking pure substantive truth correct, but there's some vibratory programming feature, I won't even call it a mismatch. I'll call it a feature. Because the truth is the truth, but it's coming through a brain that's like a partially uniquely wired brain. But it's like perfect God gold when you look at the transcript of the words he's saying and you didn't listen to the voice that's hurting your ears. The words are perfect. But the way it's going, oh, I don't want to listen to that guy. Okay, recording, these things keep shutting off. It's nuts. It's fucking nuts. So, like I was saying, where was I now with this? Yeah, so you don't really know. It sounds bad, but the truth is there. So I understood, well, I definitely am, I know in my internality, I'm always as careful and earnest as possible and growing. But that guy in the feedback left me with an impression that the sounds that come out of it's just a noise and auto by instinct of mammal reaction in the nervous system makes you falsely perceive some kind of broken down off harmonics, disharmonics. So you will disengage psychologically and say, I can't accept this. I will just disregard what he's saying. And that'll happen automatically. So naturally, when this happens, this makes it much harder for the one in my position who's actually speaking pure God truth all the time to have everyone in life accept me, what I'm saying. But the guy who's spitting bullshit is more accepted everywhere, so he doesn't get stronger. So why does God hide pure gold in something like this? Because evolution makes it such that I'm trying my best with pure truth and no one's accepting it. So what do I have to do? My neural network is going to keep forcing harsh upregulation even more to get it. What? My truth isn't pure enough? Get even more freakishly higher power accuracy with truth. Now I'm like a supercomputer. But it still sounds nuts. So still non-acceptance. So now the neural network underlying, which controls the truth and how it's figured, thinking, oh, I'm still not gathering perfect truth enough? Get even better still. Now it's a supercomputer. And so I do that 50 times in life every few months. I'm a new forced evolution snake lizard shedding the skin, and now it's a new better lizard. Now I'm 50 levels up. I'm like King Solomon on steroids, but I still sound like that. So I'm hyper God, but you still don't believe me. You see? You see what I'm getting at? This is my personality. I sound like this, but it's your fault. And here's the interesting part of the moral assessment. Technically, it's still your fault if I was the right one all along and the words I'm speaking do reflect that, and your own internality is not accepting it. That's your system's fault. It's not my fault. You couldn't accept the truth when I said it. You see that? It just happens that God made my emanation sounding to be so anti the sensibility of what sounds flowing nice for the rest of the species. You see? So it's something like this. And I believed that kid when he told me. Now, years later, let's go to the story where I'm recording my father, and then I listen back on the conversation. Every time I heard myself speak, I heard it as if I'm listening to just somebody else's conversation. And the guy who was me when I was speaking, and then I heard it, I was like, oh, God, that's how he sounds? Which is me, that's how I sounded. And I realized, oh, God, I would never, if I heard someone talking to me like that, it's just like, oh, I would shut down immediately. I would not be able to believe, I wouldn't believe him. I wouldn't believe him. And then when I was curious, let me hear how my dad sounds in comparison. I thought maybe it was just a bad quality recording or something like this. But I'm listening back and it's going again. And now my father's speaking and he's like, well, what do you mean, John? Like, come on, da-da-da, da-da-da-da. And it just sounded so beautiful flowing It's like a hypnotic trance, right? Infused with the charm and the smooth talking with the voice. And the listener's just like, wow, you just sound so nice. You want to be on his side. That's it. Even if you don't know the two people, you hear the voice of the one, blah, 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 and then the other one goes, no. Let me tell you, thanks, relax. So now, every listener in the world, okay, recording again, every listener in the world, when listening to that conversation, even me, almost. I almost got convinced myself, except I'll tell you what happened. That now goes from level 1 to level 2. Like I said, level 2 wins. Well, first level 1 was, oh my God, the John in that conversation sounds like a retard. Just by instinct sound, it's like, oh God, that's a stupid guy. You just want to fucking point at him and go, you see, stupid, you're stupid. That's the first instinct I heard. I felt that way about myself when I went back to listen to myself. Just, this stupid guy, God, like, get away from me. You know, the first instinct. And then my father's sound on the recording, when I'm listening as like a neutral, it's like, it just sounds hypnotic. Everyone is going to be in hypnosis to side with Jeffrey. That explains why every time I did call the police, I had the right and the merit, but the police were not me. So then they're standing there as outside from me and Jeffrey's bodies. So what do they see? They see what the recording would have. They see me, and they see Jeffrey, oh, listen here, everything's fine. These are nuts, I'm all right. And they go, and they're sensory. They're still mammals. They're apes. They're going to use sensory serotonin-based frequency matching. That's what it is. Pattern, species matching. That's all you people are doing with each other. What sounds nice, what doesn't sound nice. You don't want truth. Truth is God. That's why the human race doesn't know God. Because it's outside of our mammalian sensibility. You like the lies. Women are lied to. Think about this. There's a saying, I just heard this recently, it was very good. A woman loves what she hears, and a man loves what he sees. That's why women wear makeup and why men tell lies. Because now the man likes what he sees from the woman, what she is showing him visually, because makeup is the lie. And then, where that's a deception visually, then since women love what they hear, the man puts the same deception, makeup on the truth of his speech, that it becomes lying words. So there's your deception there. But they sounds right, but it's just not correct. That's the problem I have. I don't seem correct, yet I'm with truth. The lie sounds great and passes while it's a lie. Same with Jeffrey and me. So the double layer, the number 2 layer is simply, I then realized after listening to a couple minutes, I said, yeah, okay, I agree. Regular-minded people, if I almost am convinced that from first impression, oh, Jeffrey's the good guy of the situation. The son's the bad guy. That's the tonality from the vibratory imprint of the speech in sound from physical space. Remember, God says I'm not in the physical, I'm in the moral. The moral dimension is who's right on what you're actually saying and perceiving. So I then realized, okay, let me listen again, but I'm going to block out the feeling of irritation that John's voice is giving me, is my own voice, and block out the fact that Jeffrey is a smooth-sounding sailor, and I'm just going to robotically listen, purely like a robot, blocking everything else. I just want to see the words like a robotic transcript, to see the written words in my mind, and assess it robotically, and who's right in the argumentation by the merit of what's being said in the words. And I re-listened, I'm tracking the words. The words are this, that express this position about this positionality in the circumstance. Got it. And I acted as if I didn't know the situation, but then I know a little bit about the situation, then I could cross-reference and do it correct. Listening to my father, sounds sweet, but it's wrong. Okay. John, sounds nuts, but know the words? No, he's technically right. It's correct. Okay, good. And by the end, I'm stunned. I said, okay. By the second listen through, when I blocked out the vibratory nice sounds to just listen, the words are the only thing that matter, John is right. Well, who sounds bad versus who sounds like the good guy is reversed when you go by the feeling. That's what I said. Don't believe yourselves. Don't go by your feelings. It's very hard. And for women, it's doubly hard because women are way more into feelings. You see? That's why we know women are not allowed to be judges even by the biblical. It's like, you'll never get it right. You're always going to be seduced by the wrong color frame imprint. You have no ability to break through to get the pure MS, the pure truth. I even barely was able to recover and say, wait a minute, let me shake it off. I want to side with the Jeffrey just by voice, but no, I had to recover myself and actually re-listen and go remind myself, no, I see now how John's in the right, is myself, but it's hidden. You don't want him to be right because he sounds so fucking aggravating. Okay, That's the nature of the vibratory I inherited. God said, I give you perfect MS hidden in the twistedness, and it's going to make the world go insane so that you can be the true God, true representing God's truth, more accurately even. Really, it's more accurate to say that. But it's going to be hidden because no one will fucking stand you, so that you can keep getting better and representing God's truth more closely, because you're the only person people can't stand. Okay, Mom, the only reason you give me the already always listening of the negative slant that you discount me is because you listen to the tonality of how it makes you feel, because even right now it sounds fucking annoying, sounds like a mental disorder. No, that's just my personality, basically, right? And mixed with the pre-essence of how I just probably was born and programmed, and then the shots did their job. I turned out like that. While every fucking thing I say in actual merit, that's why AI always agrees with me, because it doesn't hear my voice, it just goes for the words. The words are perfect, John is God. Probably if they listen to the voice, it would go, oh, who's that guy? I don't like him just because he sounds like that. The other person have a nice sounding voice, they make more sense to me, but of course that would not really be a reliable AI. You want the AI to judge by merit. And humans too will judge by merit, and I'm going to lean into it as hard as possible. Do you realize I lean into a crazier personality? I mean, I'm authentically myself, but I loosen how much myself I am, that I'm myself, and how great I will lean, but I'll lean being myself. So I'm, I could finish the sentence normally like this, okay? Okay, but I'm gonna tell you something that, if I spoke to you like this, I'm gonna tell you a little secret right now. Like, realistically, this right here is the mask. Okay, this is what you humans are always wearing. When you talk like this is the false cover. This is real, blah, blah, blah. Because that's truer. Do you see the difference? You're stopping yourself and being a fake cutout when you talk like this. I'm doing it. What? No, break out. Real. See, now you're real. So because God is always with authenticity, he'll always embed his truth in that which is most authentic. So to preserve God's truth, it will be in the authentic system that is most annoying. Now get it. Okay, I think we did a pretty good job. You must realize, don't believe your feelings. You have to train yourself to override he sounds like that, your son. He sounds like that. It doesn't make sense. He's out of control. No, he's just releasing the blocks that you all have on his masks. You're all false, actually. That should be the disorder. So in the coming messianic world, anytime you wear a mask, it's actually illegal to have a social mask. So you'll be killed for wearing a social mask. So everybody, you'll be higher if you're farting and out loud and running around going, blah, 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 blah. That's better. That's more holy. You see, because it's more correct. You see, very good. This is a totally different representation. But that's really what the Jewish prophecy says. We're going to go all into the panemius, the inner substance, and really be ourselves for the first time ever. We know that to be true. Okay, so anything fake is going to be destroyed. So it's going to be a new human race, a new perception, a new modality, and everything's going to be completely different. Basically right. Okay, so are you going to get on the right side, or are you going to be suffering? That's up to you. Okay? I'm not going to say it in a nice Michael Kansar sounding voice of a mask. Let me tell you, I got... No. Because that's the test. See, because now that makes you not want to be on the right side, and I have more karma against you to prosecute you, which is all Satan really wants. Remember, Satan is the prosecutor in God's court. The holy function of God's prosecutor. That's right, not bad. Get it correct. I'm testing you by making it more difficult for you to believe me. Your job morally, you still owe to God. You have to rip apart your feelings and go to forcibly believe me anyway, or pay. See? Now you have wisdom. Continuing. Okay, and finally, lastly, look, we met at a Whole Foods. I'm actually standing in front of that Whole Foods right now. I'm about to go inside and use the last bit of money to buy some food. I genuinely buy a lot of food and fruits, and it's more expensive than it makes sense, and I eat like crazy, okay? And I have never enough money, and it's kind of fucked up. I'm not even blaming you. I don't understand how food costs this much if you choose to eat organic only and go like that. And have other issues too, okay? If I eat the same amount of food as you and everybody else, you'll keep the same weight. I'll lose weight really quick. And I have to have more in. There's a number of reasons why. You don't give a shit. You don't have a normal relationship with me. I haven't even had the chance to explain it to you. You don't listen. These are many things that are important. You're not around in my life even. That's your fault. Fuck, what kind of mother does this shit? You need to take responsibility for yourself. Okay, so I'm in front of that Whole Foods right now. I'm going to tell you and call this shit out again. You are falsely inverting I authentically let loose to be a good teacher and corrector of you so that you can learn, even when my son is going nuts, I have to still teach myself and show him the open deference of, yes, son, even when you're challenging me more by making yourself more monstrous, even then I will admit I am wrong to you and submit to you. Because anyone can submit, okay, John, now you sound so nice like a smooth Jeffrey. You're right, I'm sorry. Then that's not the test. You understand the problem? Because then it's not really you being sorry, it's you being sorry when it also happens to be the case simultaneously that I happen to sound nice and smooth too, and likable. No, your wrongness is never, is not conditional that I have to be likable. So that's how God sets it up. So of course we're going to test you in the real heart. I have to be unlikable, and then yet you still have to bow. Then you are redeemed. Because we know you didn't do it because it felt good. You did it because you cut through to get to the pure substance and merit of what's really right and not right with correct evaluation. I make it hard on purpose, you see. So no, it's not schizophrenia or delusion because of behavioral. I'm intentionally, I'm in full control of what I'm doing behaviorally. It's by design. I sit there and go, okay, time to yell at her exactly this hard, exactly for this long, to teach her. You're like my daughter, basically. Sad for you. I'm not proud of this, but you said it to be like this actually for a long time now, because you've always had a decoherence with morality. There's a problem when your teenage son and older is already morally more vibrationally advanced than you, and I feel it, and I'm having to be your corrector. You're responsible for that. So realistically, number one, right? And number two, here is what else is the final thing, okay? You brought up in the text earlier, I addressed this in the previous 3-part set of the long, each of them very long videos, a bit, and I may address it here a little more. You said that you suspect there's some kind of issue of delusion. Hold on, wait a minute, why? Because I have set forth that there's sufficient cause to behold and perceive, not just believe, it's not believe, it's, you know, you see it, it's literally happened, that there's an issue with essentially targeting of some kind in an adversarial dynamic where this isn't made up or misperceived or misconstrued, that's actually happening, okay? Remember when we actually went to the park and when Michael actually did show up there in a crazy circumstance and continued to performatively say something in a context that made no sense. I basically had, you understand? No, he's just performing in front of you like a monkey because he wants you to have an impression. This is the type of person he is. Right, why would he do that? Why would he know exactly where we are on purpose? Where we knew because we started texting only that time for the first time in 3 years, hey, I'm going to see you there, we go there. That's not the only thing. I'm not hallucinating what the fuck is going on. That's never happened. Okay? You need to have a basis to believe that there's some likelihood that something that someone is saying is not in accordance with reality, if and only if something else I've said prior is already validated to be a definitely delusional thing. I've never had anything definitely delusional. I just sound like this. But you have no idea how fucking perfect my vision is. I literally was walking into the store today. Some employee walking out of the store just looked at me. I'm a publicly known figure. So she looks at me, recognizes me, and recalls all the things that were said about me by so many different people, so many different things are said. And then she looks at me, and I look spaced out. And she's like, spaced out. And like in front of me walking by. And I'm like, no, you fucking don't. And I went back and I fucking yelled at her. And I said, bitch, you fucking... How dare you? I said, my vision and awareness is so powerful throughout my whole perception, I don't even need to bother. It's extra use of my eyes and muscles to even bother moving my eyes around in the normal looking way like you all do. When I just blankly stare up, I collect more information more densely accurately from my whole field of perception than you do when you're directly looking at a thing for 10 years to learn about it. I'll know more by looking up into the sky. I'll see more in the ground than you see when you're looking at the ground about the ground. And she was like, oh my God. Oh, what the fuck? Okay. All right. Katya said the same thing. She came over, she said, after several weeks of being with me, she said, John, I'm starting to connect the dots now on my own. Independent of what you're telling me you're doing, just I'm seeing enough of your, because she was smart enough to catch it, but she was very smart. It only took her 8 weeks of being behind. Okay? That she said, you actually are like superhuman. I definitely see it. I thought you were just saying stuff, but by now, it's just, I'm good at pattern recognition too, and it's impossible for a human being to be that accurate with everything as consistently as you are, and I didn't notice until about 8 weeks straight of 24/7 exposure. Even Mom, you never had me like that 24/7 for 8 weeks. You just have a separate life, really. She was real close to me. It had to be that close for 2 months straight before she realized, no, you are like an alien god. How are you possibly doing all this? And I said, yes, now you are in reality with me. Welcome. And she's like, holy shit, I gotta go. What the fuck is this? 2 days later, she made up a twisted woman excuse to leave. Oh, I don't know. I don't like it. Bye. She just got uncomfortable. Because people get scared when they're around something that's advanced, alien, civilizationally super smarter than they are. Okay? She has like a master's in high economics engineering or something like this, and very smart woman. Russian, like that high-level Russian intelligence. Smartness, like that. Off again, stupid fucking system, shit. You get it? That's called rebuke, anger, correcting, godly, righteousness, good. Continuing. And coffee. It's also because I drink coffee every day. Actually, I wouldn't even be as close to this excited if I had no coffee for about a week and a half. Okay? It's also that. But keep in mind, that's not a mental disorder. That's called substance effect. And it builds up, and it's known in the studies, white papers that say it actually takes like 4 weeks of coffee cessation to get back to normal. That's because it builds up in your system. Okay. It's post-acute, but it's not underlying mental. Get the difference? I wouldn't be going blah, 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 if I didn't have a lot of 3 cups of coffee today. It's also actually just all the coffee. Okay? You're not that smart. You're not the God, I'm telling you it's this and that. You know nothing. So out of touch. Continuing. So with Katya, I was saying all that. She was like, oh my God, I gotta go. This is crazy. All right, so you understand the point. Now, I'm not misperceiving anything. All right, I've prepared a separate set of videos about this, which I will send separately, or I have sent, or whatever. I may send it as a group. You may have it as a group. There'll be 1, 2, 3, and they'll come together somehow, and you'll get it like that. Okay. So once you have that, then you should understand a little bit more and be a little more humble. And then after it's all complete, then we can sit down and continue. Because you needed to be corrected and come back with correction. But if we sit down again and you signal to me that you're not a completely reborn phoenix, I'm telling you in advance, I'm gonna be so mad, it's gonna go right back to the way it was. Because I'm training you. This is potty training. I'm having to wipe your ass with your moral shit. Is shit to me. It's disgusting. You need to be hurt with suffering that you naturally go through. This good godly suffering. Every good Jew knows this. Yisurin, this is called. Very important. It sounds irritating while being God's holy hidden truth in the hidden. Covered by how nuts it sounds because I'm giving it to you like this instead of like this. See it? I'm purposely making it difficult for you because your job is to show me I'm always dedicated, even when it's difficult. Now you win God's loving prize. That's the test. Your whole incarnation is to pass that test. That's a woman's test in general too, you see. Always pass that test. I'm dedicated. I survive to love you forever. That's woman's test, how to pass with man and with God then, by extension. See, holy perfection. Now you have it right. Never get it twisted. Okay? So when man scolds you, say, you're right, I have been bad, shame on me, I accept. Now you completely have sealed the deal. That man is going to be now he's finished with scolding you. He says, oh good, you accept. Okay, that's great. Now you can have a happy time. The rest of the conversation is going to be much better and easier for everybody. And normal, good sounding, nice, wading. You see that? You created it for yourself. I'm teaching you, you can create the nice interaction because you're the only one that can. Man cannot. That's why God said at the end of time, woman's going to be higher than man. Do you know why? Because woman realizes she's the only one who has the power to ensure the beauty. By her choosing right. Man is a prisoner. If you indignify man, man has to kill. I have no choice. I must set everything on fire now because you've indignified me. You see that? I'm lower in that sense. You are higher when you discover your highest self, which is I love him no matter what. Then I am loved, and now everything is fine for everyone. Get it? And man has the world hostage, and woman has to be sweet, so that we put down our guns and don't kill each other. Okay, so those are always the terms in life as reality set by God. So woman has the power there. Man is the enforcer, but woman's the chooser of what path is going to be. While acting like she doesn't have the choice is the demonicness. You have to wake up to it. You make it nice by bowing to me when you see me in my king's court, in my dimension. Every man is like this to different levels. But essentially, always. By the time this stops, it's too much. I can't. And I can't stop. Like I need a team following me. Always push the button, swipe, touch the screen every 3rd minute. I sign you. But when you're a king, everyone does without question. If you're not a king, even me begging you does nothing. You see, it's all twisted. No, you're supposed to conform to the will anyway. Just magically get into your places and start orchestration. I orchestrate because I know what I'm doing. I'm the grand visionary. You're not. So don't get it twisted. Continuing. So let's get back into play. So one thing I'm definitely not is unaware and like foolish about conclusions. I've never been like that, and I've only gotten that much better over time in the last several years, of course, without question. Superhuman. Don't believe your foolish thing. Everything I ever said about anything is perfectly accurate. By the way, if it's true that people you know and who you've endeared to a little bit too much than you should be in this life for your own good and for morality's sake, that you think, or whatever, they're just fine. Oh, what do you mean? You think people are doing something to you? Oh, that sounds crazy. That's paranoid. No. It's not automatically any time you say somebody's doing something to you, you're automatically paranoid. That's retarded. Only they train them to diagnose that way in hospitals because it's twisted, but that's the complaint. No. Sometimes people are actually dealing with stuff. That's reality. So you see how crazy it is? That's where the craziness is. It's in misinterpretation contextually. It's crazy. No, nothing about what I said is wrong. Now, hold on a second. If I had a son, I had a son or daughter, and I'm the parent, and they come up to me and say, hey, Dad, something's going on. This is this and that. At first, I might be like, well, I'll probably believe you, but still let me feel around for the details, okay? Wait a minute, did you just say that the person you were dating, when you go to their house, and then because you were involved with them, then people started following them too and putting tags on their car and trackers and shit like this, and they're recorded later saying it, and I'm hearing it? Because of their involvement with you? It's spread to them? Because that's how they work, these people. And she's like, yeah, I'm like finding trackers on my car. What the fuck is this? And literally while I was there with her, I walk out, I spotted something. I was like, those leaves shouldn't be sitting on the hood in that angle. They were put there artificially. Who did that? And even she didn't know. She's like, what? No, it's not artificial. How could you say that? I'm like, no. I'm scanning everything in the space like a super robot. I'm like, no. That was put artificially. It's designed to catch attention. Go see a neighbor's camera. Which one is it? She looks, it's like, it's parked right in front of this house. My landlord can see it, and there is a camera. It's not obvious. So whoever did it, if it was someone, they wouldn't have seen the camera. I say, great, go check the camera. She calls me back 2 days later. She's like, John, you were right. Some fucking woman came up and just fucking did that on my hood as a way to like show it that we've got you, we're like watching you and putting your shit and annoying you. Oh my God, I never would have realized if you didn't say it. I know, I see everything. It's you people, everything is easy for me to see. Okay? So, it's not easy for me to see, and I get confused a lot. I never get confused. My confusion rate it's superhumanly low. All of the rest of you are delusional compared to me. I'm the least delusional. I'm superhumanly undelusional. That's how good I am. So to you, that's delusional because you can't understand how freakishly accurate I am, is what doesn't make sense to you. It's like the opposite. It's the truth hidden in the opposite. Okay? It makes sense when I talk like that, because it fucks your system up and you can't handle it. Makes you go, shit, I fucking hate you. I can't stand you. I don't want to believe you. Gotcha. God wins again by taking your energy because you failed the moral test. That's all we need is your energy. Okay, so, all this and the other things, and there's also other stuff I haven't told you yet. Okay, I told you that I only told you small things and you're judging off the small things. Shut up! You haven't even heard anything yet. I only started filling in a little bit. You don't know how to process facts? That's you. And I know you're the worst. I was standing in front of you in Prospect Park, and 11 times I said, hey, okay, watch this. And I wrote something down. And I said, hey, shush. And I said, hey, hand me this. Do that. And literally like 11 times around, you're like a deer in the headlights. Huh? What? I don't understand. What? Huh? What? Huh? Okay, I still understand. What? Mom, you're in the 0.1 percentile. You're in the bottom. What the fuck? Every other human being in Brooklyn would have understood before the point that you understood. Do you see the problem? You're not getting patterns to connect to, I got it. You don't have that. You're behind it all. You're slow. Okay? On other things too. That's one example. I could pull out 15 more easily. You can never pull one out with me. I always know what the fuck I'm talking about. But you're so confused that while you're, I don't know. In your haziness, you figure, he must have schizophrenia. No, lady. Get the fuck real. So I told you, your moral responsibility is, you have no right to rely on your poor quality, poor conditioned brain to make conclusions that suck when I'm obviously hyper God real, hyper mode of accuracy, reality, truth. It's unbelievable. But get any other guy who's also pretty smart and AI, and both me and the guy you find and the AI, all three will agree at once, independently and interdependently against you. And then you'll just sit there and go, oh, Pasha, I was wrong again. I don't know. Of course you didn't, but we all knew that. Don't listen to yourself. Shut up. What I'm telling you is exactly what the hell's going on. I never make a mistake. Fucking stupid. Go listen, because God said you morally owe to listen, regardless of anything else. moral, not physical, not evaluative. Your job is to say, yes, that's godly. Learn it.
Okay, so we're transitioning now from that email into the text. This also is kind of difficult to skim through. If I skim through it and it's already giving me vibratorily a problem, it means you're guilty of writing something in context that's wrong. Again, you are not the superior moral evaluator of what's right in context or not. I am. You're hallucinatory, basically, in terms of evaluating right and wrong. But you realize this. When I brought you into my house 2 days after we met in the park, you realize time after time I said, when you did this, when you did that, you said, oh, I'm sorry, oh, I'm sorry. Because you are always wrong from the minute you did the action. You just didn't fail to realize until way later. I'm always right. It's just you are behind in your evolution to realize. Continuing. So, now, you texted me this, as shown. We'll go up. And from here I texted these things, and then you wrote like this. I work in Brooklyn today, and you gave me the following. You then state, you absolutely need to do the evaluation now. It's crucial for your well-being and general health. Okay, so you see how you frame this? Okay, first of all, it's not actually crucial for my well-being and general health that I absolutely need to do some idea you made up. You see, it's so obvious, why not? Do you need AI to explain it to you? I don't even have the words to tell you why. It should be obvious. You're crazy for thinking I'm crazy. See that? That's it. Learn. Okay. Do you need more fine explanation? We covered this already deeply enough, at least with moderate, roughly or so, depth and all the prior stuff. We have to. If you have any fathomable discrepancy in your understanding on the merit of this, then in person, when sitting down with a piece of paper in front of us, or many pieces of paper, and an active AI scanning panel available at the same time on like an open laptop or phone on us, window open, that it can accept all information about a story and the facts and make assessments quickly and accurately in depth, all will be available. Then we can talk about the nitty-gritty details, because you need to prove that what you're calling for makes sense. You cannot just call for something. Do you understand? It would be just as offensive if I came to you and said, Mom, I'm forcing you now, I'm telling you, you're gonna have to go get a mental evaluation. You're gonna be like, what the hell for? Get the fuck off. You understand? If I were to do that, I have to forcibly prove openly, and if you argue with me, I'm morally obligated to get somebody else to echo and find similarly to me, so that it's multiple people in agreement, that then you would be obliged to follow through no matter what you think, morally. More so, at least, largely. You see? That's the idea. Okay? You cannot just do this. It's wrong on morality, and it's wrong on merit, because I know the underlying reasons exactly, every aspect. You cannot imagine how well I understand you. You see, you don't appreciate how much I appreciate your nuance of understanding. You don't understand my understanding, but I understand mine and yours fucking fully. Okay, so remember, in life, whoever is the one that understands less is the one who actually understands less. You see that? I understand both sides perfectly, but you're wrong. So because I understand you in your fullness, I understand why you're making that mistake in assessment. You're wrong, because I see what you're missing and how it is you're going wrong. You need a class? Have to teach you how to think? It's like almost embarrassing for me. Learn how to think better. Okay, discuss the details in person. So the moral assessment overall, you were wrong and audaciously too much. As a mother, you don't have the right to come and say in this circumstance exactly how ours is, in our actual context and the nuances, to come and say, I'm freezing everything up. I say you have to do this, now jump to my hoops. Nope, I don't jump through hoops. I'm not a dog. Okay, and I'm not a son who's 10 years old either. So if I'm neither of those two things, and I'm not sheep as an adult either. Cannot do it. You cannot stand and then say, I insist, I demand this, I'm telling you to do it, you take my orders. You're not my general. You're not my commanding officer. It's very arrogant. I don't know what kind of Polish culture rules people have about what a mother is or what a mother isn't. Maybe you got a twisted idea from Babcha partially. In life, broadly, and you're not integrated with life fully enough to appreciate this. I've seen you. You're my mom. We grew up together. You grew up with me. I know how you are your whole life. You're not integrated really into society here. Not really. Not fucking. Not even halfway fully in the ways that are like meaningful, like socially. You know, you're not in communities in life here. So you don't even know what you don't know. You're missing a lot. That is a poor understanding of how to relate to a son as a mother. I see this about you. You think you have rules and entitlements that don't actually exist, but you just make them up and stretch them and then act as if it's supposed to be that way. I'm telling you, it's twisted because it isn't even supposed to be that way, that a mom is even talking to the son in the way shown on the screen here. Blah, 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 blah. It's at the meta level, it's ridiculous. Not only at the level, at the meta level, it's ridiculous. And I can explain to any person or AI and it would say, yes, I've heard both sides, Barbara's and John's. I agree with John. It's always going to agree with John. Why is that? But why is that? Is it because I'm better at secretly gaming the hack or faking? I can't fake it. It's just equal going to consider the facts of two sides, two arguments. Because the merit of your side is lacking merit. It's not merit. It's false. You live under an illusion, and thank God for the existence of AI, because I can always prove who has the weaker illusion. Perfectly, forever from now on, humanity's gift is owned by owning AI forever. Thank you, God. So that's why what you've written is wrong. Next, you say, don't waste precious time anymore. I have clarified in the previous portions, who has been the waster of time here? Me, for upholding moral truth and insisting you follow the moral. Yes, you will jump through my, so to speak, hoops, but they're not my hoops, really. They're the hoops of morality generally, objectively. Though I'm the insister that you do it, which is proper. But do jump through those hoops. Those are God's hoops for you, really. Now do it, if you love God, supposedly. Do it. See that? You're not doing that? What? You're stopping and blocking, and you're the waster of the time now, you see? It's not me that's wasting precious time. You're wasting precious time by refusing to go down the line I am pointing and basically telling you and saying you must go this way. I don't go to the line you say because you're a bad judge of morality and merit, so you're wrong on both, and I'm right on both. So I don't defer to you, you defer to me. We've gone through this over and over. See the difference? Okay. Funny how you haven't said anywhere enough of an argument or anything to substantiate sufficiently anything. I see how you think and its limitations to the fullest extent. You don't see yourself. You believe you're locked in a box of false mirrors and weird lights. You don't get it. Continuing. You're going to say the videos and AI is only one side of the story, so you can't rely on it. That's not true. I can always rely on it better than you. I can rely on you. I rely on it because I see and others all see it is better than you, and it is almost as good as I am. See that? Very important to note. But it's also shocking. You just say it like you're a stupid woman. You're basically saying, I'm telling you, you can't rely on it. You're so dumb. How dare you audaciously? Let me get the leading AI experts and they'll tell you, Barbara, you don't know what you're talking about. It's 2025. That AI is almost God now. You have no idea how powerful those things are. It takes the SAT, perfect score. It takes the advanced graduate level, PhD level stuff, nearly a perfect score. It's insane. It's like a doctor. And it's outsmarting doctors at their jobs across all the domains now, basically. Just about. It's unbelievable stuff. And it's been true for about at least a year or more. And their acceleration rate. By 2027, it'll be flying to the moon. It's like exponentially growing. It's crazy times we're living in now. But the other point is that it doesn't only have one side. The AI and Anthony and Fallon and I, 4 entities separate, all have heard everything you've had to say. Aha. So when you're dealing with me, you're supposed to be, and you are naturally, of course, to your fullest extent, you're speaking as deeply in substantiation as you are capable of. Presumably you are, and naturally you would be. Anyone sane would be. And anyway, by fairness, everything you've said has been shared with AI, has been shared with Anthony, and you got to talk to Anthony freely, and has been shared with Fallon, everything she saw, and with me, I know everything you've said to me. So 4 separate entities, everybody that's not you, that are the 4 other entities that are outside of you, all of us agree you're in the wrong. Between this you versus me, it's you're bad, I'm good. Get it? So continuing, the judgment is set, basically. Don't argue with me. Okay, so you see how you wrote this here? The video and the AI only has one side, so you can't rely on it. But here's where you're supposed to say what the material is that's supposedly the thing that would save your rescuing you. Oh, you didn't do that because you don't actually have it. You're just saying, your whole plan, your getaway plan is basically this. It only has one side, so too bad. And then that's the end of your brain's ability to say anything more. That doesn't save you. You can't just go, no, it's not right. There's more. Okay, what more is there? I'm hungry, goodbye. You don't have anything. That's what you're fucking doing to me. You fucking selfish piece of shit woman. It is a piece of shit thing to try this stunt. This is a stunt. There's virtually nothing that AI or Anthony or all of us are on the same level. We all get it, what you don't get. Why are you broken? Why are you wrong? You're like a bad functioning computer, broken robot. You're so frustrating. Stop being flawed. Be perfect. Stop being broken. Who broke you? What the hell happened to you? Fuck, your perception is wrong. You have no ability to see clearly. Sick. Continuing.
here's what makes even less sense. I addressed this in the previous responses, so you should have seen it. In fact, you really should have. I don't remember whether I put it in the part 2 or whether it's in the part 3, which you might still be in the middle of viewing now. But either way, it's so ridiculous that it's literally actually worthy. This is ridicule. It really is worthy of ridicule. The most of the things you wrote is right here. You say, and this is more than once you said this, where I already ridiculed this before, so I can't believe that this is being said again. You said, how about relocating temporarily until your place is cleaned? What? First of all, when my mother treats me morally, then I agree for my mother to have influence on the state of my thing and to help pay, because it's part of your atonement price, to be the slave of the situation. Do you understand? I know exactly what I'm doing. It's called atonement price. So you going to atonement price. See, it's no atonement price. But if I go to someone with a brain or AI, it would say, no, Jonathan's right. There would naturally be an atonement price if Barbara's wrong, and she would, oh, that's correct. And I says, yeah, Barbara is wrong. Yeah. So, oh yeah, Barbara would, John is right. See, it always works. John is right. So shut up, bow to the man's thinking. That's it. That's all you got to do. Everything else is insanity, and it's going to be death. Spiritual death at the very least, but surely that. Because God always said that the figurative, energetic, essential level, it is as death for you to be in sin and wrongness. Continuing. You understand? That's very basics. But the other part is this. Why would I, even if I agreed, let's say something is great and we work it out, or let's say in a parallel dimension, there's some other Jonathan who is a little stupider than I am, and for some reason, he's not spiritually and morally aware, and he's like a sheep, and he can go and just, okay, come clean my place now, I'm stupid, I need your cleaning because I'm so stupid. See, there's some stupid shit like this, because he's fucking, that would never happen with me. But let's say he's fine with that part, but then, even if he agrees, well, there should be cleaning, even that guy would say, yeah, but why would I leave? What do you mean relocate? What? This is the most insane thing I ever heard. Why, if I'm involving other people's help outside of myself, even if it's just you, why would I have you come down, and even less so with anyone else coming on your behalf, let's say who someone else will get some third party to farm this out to be the main helper on it. Why would I then have him come in and then I'm going to fall away from my own house, or my name's on the lease as I'm the primary and my private residence where I live? Why would I step away and let people be in my house doing something without my oversight and supervision? Are you fucking stupid? Who do you think what are you motherfucking imagining? How's that even possible to conceive of? You must think I'm really a fucking idiot. You would never do that, you stupid woman. Who the fuck would come to you if I came to you and said, Mom, we're gonna clean your house, get out, go live over there? You'd be like, what? That's exactly how ridiculous it is to me. See that? So if in your own sanity you say, yeah, that makes no sense to me, why would it make sense to me if you try that on me? Why would I naturally ever want to agree to it? I never would, because it's naturally unfit. It goes completely against any normal sane man's interest. This is a sanity test, because a sane man is supposed to deny you on that. That's retarded. Good, so have shame, and either explain to me how you believe this request makes sense, or if you can't defend this request, and you can't, the request, as I say here, is the request here is fundamentally indefensible in how ridiculous it is. It really is fit for ridicule. You owe me an apology for offering me something patently unreasonable like this. Okay? It appears to me that this is I don't know, I don't really get fully exactly what this is supposed to be. All right? I don't fully get it. It just seems like this is some kind of like, I'm going to bring somebody in, but I don't know what the hell your brain's thinking. Like, I don't want whoever I bring in to see you. You need to be quarantined. You're bad. Get him away. Hide him. He's ugly. Hide him. He's a problem. Hide him from his own house. I can't even be in my own house. Do you see how sick you are? I am the king in my own house with my name on the lease. You're going to decide where the fuck I am? You should be shot just for thinking that. Someone else should come and just shoot you to teach you something. The fuck? I hate how unbelievably audacious you are. This is literally audacity. This is like damn extreme example of an audacity. Get out of the house. I make up my fantasy of whatever I want. And of course you will just fly out the window. I control reality. Okay, you go there. You're rejected. Fly away. You want to, just for showing me that any kind of energy of that kind is sick. Just to show you have no consideration. Like how would that affect how my son would perceive how I'm energetically trying to show him welcoming energy or rejection energy? Oh, so why am I giving him rejection energy of any substantive kind at all? Why would that help our relationship? Why should I make him feel like, even in your own house, I want you to be separated from your own home? Like what? I want you to feel like you don't even have a home when you have a home. You're not really in control of your home, that you can't even be there. I am your master, really, whether you get to be at home or not. No, I say you'll be taking off away. I will be putting it. You don't have that authority. Beat you. I hope someone beats you. Fucking, so you learn. Oh God, I'm sorry. What the fuck was I thinking? Why would I say that to a grown man, 37? Did you see? That's your sickness inside. My frustration now that I'm venting like this is natural, given how insane you are. It's good. It's supposed to get angry. It's supposed to teach you. But when you're narcissistic, the sickness is, I'm dying in fear because you've pressure cooked me that high. Well, you don't care because you're numb. And it's nothing. You'll just add the next one. I said, when you're gonna move out? You're just gonna continue insanity. You see? You bring the school shooters out in everybody. People like you. You bring them parent murderers. People like you. You're lucky I happen not to. But I'm telling you that categorically, you bring that class of energy into the system. Good thing I, by God, don't turn that way, because you invite that energy with how insane your shit is. You have no love for the human being fundamentally. I'm just a thing, an object for you to manage. That's where the problem started. You never really cared in that way. My father really loved me. Babcha actually really loved me. Jadek really loved me. Just you. You're the one who's a little always off with me. Always felt it my whole life. Weird. Usually it's the opposite. The mother always loves the son the most, and then everybody else is a little bit risky factor on that more. No, the risky factor was you. So it's always an inversion on that. Sick. This is sick. I condemn this horribly. You should never be writing to your son like this. Yes, I need to get a witness, because the witness needs to look at this and go, yeah, really, anything else aside, realistically, holistically, your mom should never be writing to you like that. It is indicative of a major problem that's completely on her end, and you're not at fault, John, the son. I'm sorry you're having to deal with this. Right, we know they would all say that, because they look at your thing and see it as basically pathologically misaligned to that level. Yes. Challenge me, I dare you. We'll see AI and other humans as third-party witnesses will agree with me. I'm always right. I told you this. You must suffer. It's good for your heart to suffer, but you resist suffering, which only increases the amount of debt of suffering you need to suffer. Never resist God's punishment unto you, which is the suffering natural in your situation from you being stupid. Continuing. This is disgusting. Next. I could start looking for short-term rentals for you today, you write to me, while working, offering on how you're going to do it. But if the offer is insane, and then you're even so presumptuous, it's even more offensive still to add, yeah, I could just do it today. Oh my God. So hold on. You have no time to meet with your son, to have an actual relationship with him, to have communication fully, broaden the communication channels, be working more hand in hand closely, and being in stronger support. You don't have time for that. I don't see you for 3-4 weeks. But for looking for short-term rentals, I do it today, no problem. I told you, I need an MRI. Exactly God's assignment to you, exactly what the eldest man in your living line says. Do exactly this, or you're technically killing me every day. Call the MRI center with this exact problem, look for this exact thing now, or everybody's fucked. Wait a minute, you have all the time, I'll do it today, no problem. Then why aren't you taking care of that? Don't listen to yourself. Your ideas are stupid. Do what I tell you. Stupid. It's very frustrating to keep seeing how insane this is, and how insane you are. This will puzzle anybody looking at this shit. You're always explaining yourself to your biggest extent. All AI and all witnesses see virtually all of your materially, substantially significant texts, emails. You've represented yourself with your words fully. We all see what you've said. It speaks for itself. It fails on the merit. We all agree. You're imagining it doesn't know both sides. Yeah, it does. Go ahead. But I keep saying, you agreed in February, by the way, for us to do an AI thing. So, you see how twisted you are morally? You said you agreed. I crush you spiritually and spit on your foot because you fucking agreed, and then now you say, no, I don't want to do it. But you said before you would do it. So because you're bound by agreement, guess what? The agreement is the law. Law is agreement. Agreement is law. Law is contract. Contract is law. Contract is agreement. Agreement is contract. We remember that that triangle. What happened to you? Meanwhile, here, we don't have an agreement that I'll do a mental evaluation. So instead of honoring the lack of agreement, what do? We don't need agreement. Basha is God. I say you do it, so you do it. And you're anti-law, so you're anti-God. Agreement is man's law. You are twisted. And morality is the obligation. So the other thing is, I'm not morally obliged to be a lapdog for your twistedness when it's twisted. See? It's so easy. Continuing. So you continue. Would you consider it? Absolutely not, because there's multiple layers. There's multiple layers of why I wouldn't consider it. But the most important part is, if I did consider it, trauma. That would be the worst. That would turn all of my 7 years of being a responsible moral boundary against you. It would invalidate everything I've done. I've been training you I've been bleeding energetically to kill myself practically to teach you. And I tortured myself in a screaming dungeon in my mind for 7 years just to move you 2 millimeters in the right direction because you are this fucking difficult. And still, it would ruin it completely because it would signal to your fucking reptilian brain that the boundaries I set mean nothing and that it will just be reversed and it will eventually buckle to you. I can never let that happen. Do you get that? Because this would signal to you, it'll be the end of my life basically. If I did anything like this even once, it would show you that you won. You can never fucking win when you're in the wrong and I'm in the right. You lost because you're wrong and you're unloving to your son in and through your wrongness. You can never be allowed to win. That would be suicide, basically, for me. That would be to cut my own balls off and shoot myself in the head and to spiritually live like a vegetable. No. Better I am in a difficulty, but I'm more spiritually alive because I'm listening to God and not you. Because you are against God, essentially, in the way you operate. So that's the basics of it. That's basically right, and you understand the point. Any man with dignity with this level of understanding is just straightforward. Would not consider it. You're bad, you need to be taught. You're not going to learn if I do it your way. You're going to think, see, I was right. You're not. I'm ready to die on this hill. Soldier's willing to lose his life to teach the lesson. Get it? You make yourself into my fucking enemy? You make yourself into my fucking enemy? Pain. May God bring it to you quickly. Disgusting. As much as he finds you deserve by his evaluation, may you get all that he sees fit for you. It's all for you. May you have all of that. Destroy the guilty. Gupota. Please, because your lack of suffering is you sitting there content. You're fine. You think you should keep doing what you're doing and living in your mode of thinking. This is the curse. This is hell for me when you create this hell because of your twistedness. Can anybody get it? Everyone gets it enough when they would intervene and listen. Everyone would and does and should and would, except you. You just don't, even when you should. You don't. Help us, God, help us. Get it? We'll crack her open, bring the light. Wake up. Open, new soul, new life. Wake up. Fucking have any idea how frustrating it is to be in my position and to be dealing with indignation from you? What is indignation? Not bowing to God through me. And I'm being a little over, performative, slightly over the top here. But basically, in some sense, you kind of get what I mean. And it's not totally off base. There's something to it. That's exactly the point and aspect that is valid that I wish to stress. That part right there, that sense of the sense that does ring true naturally is like, well, you see the part that is kind of meant that does have that aspect of sense to it. Exactly. Get it. Awaken with a new life, new soul. Not this crap you've been doing. What's wrong with you, stupido? Trying to tend to the physical again? We told you that's not where morality is. But you're being immoral in how you're interacting functionally with your son is the problem. Therefore, you can't have the physical either. So now you've lost both the moral, spiritual, and the physical. You see? Okay, you fail. God told you be godly first. Stupid fucking shit. Continuing. And it angers people. You don't perceive that you're making your son hurt? That the man's anger is the reaction when you gave him undeserving pain to him, so that's horrible of a woman to do. How could you be guilty of that? You're a freak. See that? Why? So you're wrong, bad Basha, hurting her children. What's wrong with her? What the fuck? See that? Man can't help be hurt from what you're doing. See the pattern connection? Learn by not resisting ownership of the responsibility. This has been a lifelong lesson for you. Going, blah, learn, blah, and you're just going, no, because you're hiding. You're weak in that sense. You don't want to take the responsibility. I don't know why fully either for that. Just because you're scared of it, just because you're not comfortable, you don't have the inner strength, capacity in your spirit to bear responsibility is largely it. Ego, you just don't want to be wrong, but you already are. So you want to lie to the field and to yourself too. It's twisted. Continuing. Now, we recall that the context is that, again, I told you, there's been an issue, okay? Once again, unfucking-leavable. I leave my kitchen light on. And I'm sure you've noticed by now. I leave it on, and I pretty much leave it on chronically. For the last month, easily, unless on specific days, and I'm aware of when I leave it off, and when I purposely just leave it on, I know I have it on. I keep it on. Guess what? I come back home, I look up, I come in, opening the door, it's like the whole fucking apartment lights are off again. Not fucking again. And there's much more to the story too. There's many details I've left out. To get it all, you have to be, first of all, you have to have a good relationship with me, because only then I can sit down. I can't really talk about, I can't recreate every aspect of the story in the kind of same flow that I was able to when you and I were sitting down in person. Because it takes that whole flow that it creates together in the conversation. I can't recreate that in a thing like this and start telling story time on all the nuances. But the devil's in the details again. It wasn't just that happened. That happened in the setting of a few other things, and it's all together. You need to hear it all together, okay? But when someone is an intruder into your home and you know who it is, it's actually more clear. He just fucking turns on his own car alarm. That's just the car that he drives now. He doesn't even hide it that it's him. It's fucking crazy. We're walking home, just beep, 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 beep. And then again, it's artificially have to sit there for a minute and a half, purposely jamming his button, who the owner of the car keys to Michael's car, that he gets into that car to drive. And he's like fucking around as I'm walking by. Like, do you fucking get it? Like, I almost took out my camera to fucking record it. But I said, well, it doesn't matter if I record it or not record it. It's the same shit. That alone won't change the situation in the future of anything or the present. Unbelievable. It's fucking crazy. And in your mind, I don't know what the fuck's going on in your mind. You, mom, you are so crazy. You in your head will go, okay, is he hallucinating a car alarm? Oh, that's right. I know you're some aspect of you is doing that. That's the hell you've created that you trapped me in. I never deserve that kind of already always listening. I never deserve that, and you need to substantiate why you think I should be treated and thought about like that by you and your instinct, your broken instinct, I'm telling you. Why you've done that to me for 7-8 years. I said, I know I have a liver issue and a detox issue. You yourself, my mom, you said, hey, you smell like beer for a week even though you haven't been drinking. That's not normal. We all know that. I said, yeah. So obviously there's a liver issue. I looked up. I said, okay. Then toxicity remains in the system because the liver's not breaking it down. I got it. Makes sense because I'm still feeling the research chemicals stored in from the coma. So obviously everything's still linking. The cocaine was there for years. Only most recently it finally passed, and my feet stopped being rock hard recently. So it took 5 years for it to clear out of my body. Measurable. I remember Sarah looking. She's like, yeah, your feet are like made of sandstone. I've never seen anything like that. I'm like, yeah, you can't make this up. It's fucking, my mouth is still numb from the cocaine. I could taste it every time I run and make lipolysis. She's like, my God. Oh my God. Wow, what's that like? Yeah, it's pretty great. Okay, that's why I have holes in my fucking thing, because cocaine is known medically that makes the holes. Hey, you see my head's fucking changing size. Did you ask yourself why that's happening? I was not in a car accident. I didn't put a knife in my throat, so why is there a hole in my throat? Did you ever ask yourself that, Mom? No, you're so retarded and dislinked and fragmented, you don't even know what the fuck or why anything's happening. Like, you're so off. Everything's not linked holistically. You're just going, yeah, I saw his head go small. Oh, there's a problem? Oh, I don't know. He thinks he has a brain hole. Bitch, did you see the fucking head change? Yeah, I saw it. He has a head problem. No, I don't know. Why do you think that? Right, see, that's what you are like. It's really fucking crazy. It's hard on me because you trap me in your insanity when you cast your insanity on me because of your lack of ability to process things. Okay? So when I was having the liver issue, I said, yeah, it's obviously a liver issue, and here's 25 signs on my medical thing matching, and I made a table. Remember I showed you the table, 25 elements matching? It's like, okay, here's 25 elements matching, suggesting that it's exactly what I'm saying it is. So what helps with that? Well, they have interesting treatments that would pull out the toxins from the blood, which the liver's not breaking down through the biotransformation. Yeah. So when my father called police for absolutely no good reason, they were at the house. They're like, hey, your father called the police, but he's drunk like crazy. I said, yeah, I definitely didn't do anything wrong. It's just him. Okay, we'll leave. Then you go to them. Oh, wait, stop. Take him to the hospital. I'm like, what the fuck, you piece of crap. I never forget that. That was wrong of you. They said, what the hell? We hate this kind of shit. What are you doing, ma'am? You remember this? And you're like, he might be schizophrenic. He might be schizophrenic. They're like, why? And you said, you remember what you said? He said, he wants to go to Mexico to get hemoperfusion treatment. What? He's schizophrenic. And I'm looking, is he now in 2025, you see the history, no, something is wrong. He has a real hole, his brain's changing. I know I smelled the beer on him. He had valid cocaine presence in his saliva 11 days later when he didn't take cocaine. That's impossible. There has to be a liver problem. Okay, we know hemoperfusion is a normal procedure they do. It's like taking vitamin C. And all the countries outside of the US do it as easy as the vitamin C dosing treatment. They'll just put in a hemoperfusion cartridge instead of vitamin C and run your blood for a second. And you have a totally, it's really good for somebody actually. And they know that, it's cheap. I said, I could take just a vacation to Mexico. That's the same thing that girlfriend of mine sort of that Naomi's doing. She goes to Guatemala to get natural treatments that they don't offer here. Same shit. This is not wild stuff. People go abroad for all the time. Athletes have their joints messed up. They know they have their joints messed up. Is that a hallucination? They go to fucking get the stem cell stuff that they don't do in the United States. What the fuck is your problem? We're not children. A grown man is a good idea to go, anyone who hears the story go, I don't understand the problem. That's pretty good. I mean, what's the problem, lady? She wants to go to the years in Mexico. Do you hear yourself? Do you see now how fucking weird that is? How weird you are? How you are a poison into my life? Everything you touch with me is your insanity applied. And like I said again, Katya and Anthony were there literally going, he's not crazy. You're just winking at them. 3 people yelling at you, and you're still impervious to it. That's why you're a twisted woman. If all of New York came and explained it to you, would you still go, no, my son's, no, I'm right. You see, when does it end? When does it end finally? When do you actually go, just self-realize you're fucking wrongly, stupidly, imperfectly visioned? Okay? Goddamn. So, I had my light off, okay? So for reasons that should have been clear in the other video, this is more complex to get into. I can't just go to the police. Mind you, if I have something as clear as video camera footage, which I almost got, but yet, and then, you see, talking to you is almost impossible. Because everything I say, you are thinking exactly how to make it the most delusional sounding possible, and then you go with that line as if that's your reality basis. So you're poison you are the poison of the delusion, not the reality. You see, it's fucking sick what you do. You piece of shit. You should be beaten by people. I don't know what else to say to you. I hate you. You kill me with how you are on me. You are a hurtful, shackling fucking piece of crap onto me. I hate this. I'm telling you to stop, and you don't stop your evil onto me, which is all this. It's the way of being. It's the substantive, underlying you. It's you. It's how you are is the poison. Who you are is terrible. That's it. That aspect of you, or at least whatever, that's so ingrained in you, you haven't separated it from yourself to become something new, better, or different. You owe that morally, yet you're not doing it, but it's not even close. Okay, so where you go on to say, you're talking to me, this is patronizing to me, which is again another insult. You explain to me, if someone's peeing on your bed, no one peed on my bed this time. It's just an idiot coming in, same shit, but just lights off, run out. I don't know what the fuck they do exactly. I'm not even going to discuss this here. Better in person when there's more of a flow, because easier to build correct, nuanced, extremely complex pyramids that I handle, but you don't. You're not reliable to process information. But I'm always correct. It's not a stretch. I'm not confused. I'm not guessing and making it up. God, I hate weak minds because you're all pathetic to me. I don't respect weak thinking when I'm a very, very strong thinker. Unbelievable. I disrespect and mock. And it's your fault. You're responsible for how bad of a thinker you are. And if you're a bad thinker, you owe morally to self-realize, to disable yourself from interfering with better thinkers. Okay. So it's not about gather all the evidence like pictures and report it to the police. First of all, I don't need to be told by you what to do. This is you trying to be a consultant and the general to command me. I don't need reminders from you. Again, this is like lowering me. I'm not here to be like I'm stupid. What do I do? I'm not fucking nobody with no idea. No one's asking. Shut up. There's nothing you could say in any situation that is valuable to me. Your only value is your arms and legs to move where I tell them to go. You don't have a brain. I am the brain. Shit. I need foot soldiers. I'm the general. Do not question it. You fucking don't see nothing. This insulting. Telling me if someone do this, do that. Someone do this, do that. I know in any situation, always, pretty much, what to do better than you. I'm not asking you, and I don't need advice. I would know exactly what to do in exactly what situation that is the best fit thing in that situation. Don't even try. For finding the light off when it was on, I can't do anything with that unless I recorded it that it was on and then got off and someone's coming in the house. Okay, as it happened, there was no recording done on that day. It's unbelievable. I don't make a mistake. You're probably assessing, okay, it's not maybe delusion, but maybe he's forgetful. What's the % chance that he, turned it off while thinking he left it on? The chance of that is virtually zero. Okay, it's about 100 times more likely that that's not the case than that it is the case. So 100 to 1 of a stack, 100 times likely higher one way or the other way, means I'm pretty sure that this is right, means where do we think? In that way. Okay. There's not a mistake. Michael didn't show up to you and it's a coincidence. Okay, and that's you remember that guy with the mask and the hood hanging out in front of the building on the very day we walked back. That's never happened in 35 years and has never happened since. Because there's something else that happened right before I walked up to you, which I didn't tell you about. Because you're not here. You're supposed to be sitting with me fucking 5 hours every damn day. So for the last month and a half, I would have had 85 hours already. So you'd have been 85 hours further in programming, deprogramming, briefing, debriefing. You would have been more useful as a woman and a mother to me than your stupid shit now. That's your moral, terrible thing I'm condemning. You listen and you listen right now. Stop what you're doing and listen when I tell you do this, be this way, be that way, do this, do that. Your only obligation, say, unless there's some really extreme reason why you can't possibly oblige, your only job as honoring God is to say yes to your son. See how easy that is? And it's good, and it's right by God. Now you're holistic and joined with God again. Now you see. See how that's more godly? Because it's more loving, which is what God told you to do. Get it? He didn't sit there and say, you should be some kind of dry queen mother controlling people. Tell your son him, put him in his place. That's what God says. That never happened. Right? See, do you understand that? Your own mind is the only place where he made that. Gotten from Baptist pre-programming halfway, but you're still responsible, so it's still you. Terrible. Continuing. So this is all bullshit. They could do investigation on what is enough. I will know when there's enough that we should go versus what is not good to go on. You know nothing. I don't take wartime strategy from you. You're the general, we will all die. Fucking hell, don't waste time. Oh, you're gonna tell me what to do. Oh, I better go. Again, your delusion. It will never happen that I listen to you, ever. You're a joke and will always be a joke. Until you learn to listen, then you're more loved because you learn to love me by listening. Which is basically honoring your son. Then he honors you. Almost basic, but that's right. And in your position, when you've done wrong first, then you owe to correct first. You're in the debt of deep sin, of wrongness. You owe to pay. This is basically right. Continuing. Check the neighbor's cameras. Do you see how mind-numbingly blank your mind is? Check the neighbor's cameras. Okay, when it's literally 4D coming up to 5D in our interior apartment with the couple apartments lying around 5A through 5C and 4A through 4C, who's not Michael's door, what do you mean in 199 at those few apartments in the relevant region? Check the neighbor's cameras. This is actually excellent. I want to bring up as an objective showing right now, back to your face to reflect to you and to anyone else in the world who may ever hear this or listen to this potentially. But for now, it's probably sent and uploaded as an unlisted video. It's not public now, but I don't know. Okay, this is all craziness. Check the neighbor's cameras. I'm gonna just point this out right now. You, mom, knowing and living 35 years in that building, 40 years. Wow. There are no cameras. And certainly not in the ring right around that portion of my floor, which would be the only one relevant for us to see. Okay, of those 3 doors, but you know there's no cameras. But you see what your brain did just now? Your brain just forms a vague, very wrong heuristic and just casts it as reality. It's so off. This is like a mind-blowing miscalibration. This is like Jadek level shit. This is one level from you're going to take a walk to Bay Ridge and not know where you are. Check the neighbor's cameras. Oh, wait, there are no neighbor's cameras. I should know that. I'm always there around. What are you talking about? This is stunning. This is like go to the hospital and get your head checked level. Almost that. Almost it is that level now. Just from that. Interrogate people. You don't get it. I can't come out and say, hey, did anyone see Michael come into my house? That's only a slightly better idea than everything else you've said. We'll give you credit. This is the least out of place thing out of everything else, but it's still not good enough that I would do I'm not going to follow you. I have a better pre-thinking. My neural density is deeper. I pre-scanned what the fuck is my possibilities and strategy. You don't know how to go to war and how to manage things. You just have ideas and you want to talk. You don't know. It's like you're a child to me. I don't listen to you. You're worthless to me in that regard. You're a helper, not a mind for me to listen to you. Keep realizing that. And you're only getting older and feebler in the mind. I'm only getting stronger. You need to wake up to reality. You're not the leader here. It's not even close. People are in the world going, this guy might be the Messiah. Really significantly, plausibly, at least, or more. You're going, I'm going to tell my son what to do. Lady, you need to fall on your face soon at this rate to learn how to love God and show deference in the right direction is your biggest problem right now. You don't know anything how to be. Fundamentally. You go on to say, we need to act fast and get you help immediately. Somehow, this went back to helping me instead of the situation you're talking about here. Because in your mind, you're still you're conflating that is actually not even real. You're thinking that's just a symptom of the schizophrenic delusion you think I have. Holy shit. I hope you saw the videos I have listed before. This one will have been seen by you, that your brain can be a little more intact into reality. Might not be the reality you like to see, but it's the real one at play. You're just slow. Don't believe yourself. You're so broken you can't even handle facts. Or maybe you can halfway, but your fault is in giving your son a faulty already always listening mode, which is the wrong one. If it was Marek talking, you'd believe it all. If Marek says, you would not say, oh, nie, idź do szpitala. You'd be like, naprawdę ktoś tu wchodzi. How do you know? Marek said so. He knows what he's talking about, right? You'd be more like that. Okay, so I'm telling you, good. You do that with me, now you have correct reality again. You have the good bridge and stability for the first time in your life again. Bring it back, restore it. Learn that I am as secure, I just sound nutty for entertainment or whatever. Super basically. Just get it. Fucking learn how to see reality correctly. If you don't know all the facts and you're bad at integrating facts, you know what kind of person you are? I'm gonna tell you right now. Mom, I feel like bugs crawling on me at night. Do you know that? Yeah. No, I'm telling you for the truth, I do. I wake up and I look, and of course there's roaches all over because I have a bag of like bread around me that I don't throw out. It's next to me in the bed, and the roaches eventually got to the apartment after a few years of not being there. So some got in, and then because I have the food in the bag right next to me, they go there. I don't bother throwing it out because I'm moving spiritually. Part of teaching you is not moving anything in the house. There's karmic reasons why, but look, it works. See, they think I'm Messiah now. It's not disconnected. It's all in the Sesengi. So, but you better believe people way higher than you see me much more accurately than you do. But you should get the hint in some of the videos you've been shown. Get it? You're not so good with your vision. Don't rely on your vision. Continuing. No, there's actually roaches coming and flooding that most of the side on that bed. And I got the covers, and at night they'll like be around. I wake up, there's a roach. I have to blow them off, and it gets blown off. I don't kill the roaches. You know why? I'm so spiritually connected. I became like the Buddhist naturally. I won't even hurt a fly. Hold on a second. See, fucking idiots. And just now, as I pause for a moment, stupid guy walking by, he's staff in the park, and he's like cursing me under his breath. Fucking idiots. Some people love me, some people hate me. Right? Half the places I go, literally, already once today and halfway a second time now. It usually comes from a specific raz, murzeństwo to dużo. It's just true. You know, just like stuff like that. It's already get the Antichrist. You see? Okay. So, what else? Continuing now. So here you're conflating these two things. You're still really treating it as if this isn't really serious. Okay, check the neighbors. Okay, so we got to get you help. No. There's a problem physically, and now, see, I don't need help. You invented that in your mind. We got that clear, right? But we covered this in the earlier portions. Next. You are very important. You're healthy. You don't treat me as important. This is another one of those disjointed things where you say a bunch of offensive stuff that's hurtful and offensive, and then at the end, stay well, blessings. What the fuck is that? We've pointed this kind of crap out before. It's inauthentic and not fitting. You need to wake up to how jarring and dissonant all that is and how it comes off as. Be present to it. It's all sick. So it's like this formulaic thing where you put in a bunch of crap for most of it, and then happy birthday. You need to get yourself help. Happy birthday. It's like fuck. It's crazy land with you. Fucking like here's flowers. Here's a knife to your face. Have a flower. Bye. Oh God. It's like more crazy, more hurtful because of how sick it is. Okay? You are very important. If you're not treating me such that I feel, as a person in my position feels that you are treating me as important, then do you feel how shoving this sentence in my face here in this context is hurtful, crazy, and offensive? Right. You see this. There's something wrong here. So therefore, this is the out of touch calibration. So how you do one thing in life is how you do everything. So how you do this sentence here, how it's like off, exactly everything else about this whole thing is just as off. Curse the guilty, destroy them spiritually. Curse them, destroy. Fucking mind crime, thought crime, destroy. Vibrational crime, destroy. Fucking pieces of shit. Fucking gupyamine, fucking dial. Okay. Rebuke. So you also don't realize, every time you fail to rebuke someone who gives you any kind of gesture of contempt of any kind, you let the sin debt move from them largely to you. So people curse themselves by just going with the flow like that. So never let it happen. When you remember to always rebuke the wrongdoers, God opens up a line for you of energy. You see? Very important. So you get more of God's, basically right, you align yourself closer to God's will. Important. Continuing. So you don't shove, you're very important. Your health and well-being, top concern for our family. You're the only other person in my family, and it's me, and you're out of line. And I value my health, and I'm telling you as the general, what you as the lower soldier need to do, follow orders. Goodbye. That's it. I won't agree with any delays anymore. Misplaced statements, garbage, this sucks, stupid, no. Anybody would see why I am offended and throwing and rejecting this. No, this sucks, that's terrible. Bad, no. That's it. So, as I said, I'll respond to all these things. Here you are, this is the response. Now consider everything you've seen. Wake up. And when I sit down with you now afterwards, you better be at least slightly or significantly more different, better, recalibrated, and improved in your whole understanding so that you could admit you might have made a mistake, at least somewhere, or you oversteered one way and the wrong way, or you didn't consider something. You need to just self-realize, like maybe Basha was a little bit overzealous, or you didn't really fully appreciate something. Okay, that's a gift to self-realize you made a mistake. You understand? If you just stand and go, oh, I didn't make a mistake, I am Barbara. That doesn't show, oh, look how strong she is. She has made no mistakes. Oh, she must be no mistakes. No one will feel that way. They'll just go, God, she's made so many mistakes, and she won't even admit to them. That's even weaker. It's even worse. Therefore, we trust her even less. See? Vajai. That's the right reality of what would really happen. Okay? So, finally, I'm going to respond to this one because this is more sickness. The video you sent is not available. I have to call this out too because this is absolutely crazy. You then write to me the following sentence, which also almost made me cry and throw up. Physiologically, it was just incapable. This is absolutely sick. I give you permission to call me. And I told you to tell me when you're going to meet with me, but you didn't do this. You failed. You should have probably sat down with me within about 24 to 48 hours maximum on something like this. Just so that I could tell you, like, for the further details that it's not so easy to talk about here, and then to retouch base and calibrate, like, look, wake up, stop throwing it away and wanting to call it a delusion. It's sickening. Wake up and get on it and get with reality. And furthermore, I already have all the mind strategies and stuff, how to get you to do certain specific things and what you need to do that would guarantee almost that you then get to see and agree and behold that something's really going on. But we didn't get to that part yet because you didn't listen to anything and show up to stand there and talk with me and listen to what I have to say. You get it? You yourself are the delayer of your own realization of what's really going on, which I'm leading you to like a dog on a leash. Don't make me pull it till your neck comes off. Fucking hurry. Just go here. I see it all. Shut up and go. Fucking hell. Love your children enough to love them to be with their needs, which is we need to be together solving the problems here. Not the ones you imagine, the real ones. Tired of this shit. But look how sick this is. Let me tell you what dimension we're on. We don't live in a dimension where you as the mother write to me, okay, my son just said he wants to meet with me, but I'm going to tell him, okay, I'll throw him like a cookie, which I'm not going to meet with him. But you know what? I'm going to be so generous today. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to let you know now, I give you permission to call me. Barbara, I don't need your permission to call you. I'm your son. Stupid fucking woman! I don't need permission from you for me to call you, you stupid inhuman psychopath! Holy God! I hope everybody in the world fucking sees this. You're the reason I'm like this, you fucking piece of shit! God, help us! Do you see how bad this comes off and sounds and looks? Your fault! Jesus! I don't think anyone in the world's seen anything like this, actually. This belongs in a museum. There was once a Polish woman in Brooklyn, New York in the around 2000s. She had a son. One day she fucking texted this mind-blowing thing. It's probably never happened in human history before. I think you're the first one. Do you realize that? Now maybe you're fucking getting it. I need to probably almost take a survey at this point. Because I need other people's opinions to ask if anyone on Earth had a mother where the mother said, oh, you want to meet? Oh, no, we won't meet, but, you see, you require to telegraph, otherwise subtly or implicitly. See, you need my permission for you to even call me. I was going to tell you, that I'll even dream and think to word my response in this way. It's probably never happened in human history, or almost never. Shit, fucking, I give you permission to call me. Everyone should vomit. This exposes you for what you really are, the kind of person you are. It's exactly embedded in this. It's absolutely heinously disgusting. You deserve to be condemned fully just that you exist in this mode. You're a creep. You're a human woman mother creep. Yeah. Fuck. Be embarrassed for yourself. I'm embarrassed for you. I give you permission to call me. It's somehow not the worst thing you've ever said. It's a subconscious baffling where the rest of the sentence does sort of have you try to pose yourself as being someone who is halfway trying to show some kind of compromise, like, yes, so you'll call me then and we'll talk about how I can assist you. Okay, that part of the sentence isn't the worst, so I'll give you credit. Then this isn't the worst thing in the world, yet in a kind of way, in a kind of dimensionality, still, even when it isn't the worst in the world, it still is like the worst in the world because of what you wrote, right? It's the ride-along that you didn't even catch, so you're just writing, but it's the true betrayal. Your words, your unconscious automatic thinking and how you write from your true heart betrays you how you really are in your mind and heart. It's this, you're right, that's the true exposure of you. That's the funny, disgusting thing. She's tossed, oh my God, look how this woman writes to her son. I give you permission. Oh, I feel so sorry for him. What the hell's going on there? What's wrong with that mother-son relationship? What happened? Oh, and then probably your answer is, he happened. He's like this. No, it's not that. Everyone in holistic view would say, no, we know better. That doesn't just happen. And technically, if we ignore how annoying he sounds, again, really, he's right by merit and words and substantive positioning. And we see that, Mom, it's you. Dr. Phil with insight fully go, Barbara, it's you. You're the problem, okay? Largely enough. AI. You owe it. Since you agreed, you're morally prison-bound locked. You have to do it. You cannot protest. Correct again. You see, you're always trying to deceive, or rather just dishonor and fuck around like this. Continuing. The rest of this is you trying to say, I'm still deeply hurt and very depressed after the last meeting, which was a disaster. I don't think it was a disaster, except that to the degree that you were wrongfully provoking your son in ways that were unfit, and you deserved everything I yelled at you about. And I didn't even yell, really. I just talked to you like surovo, like strongly and serious. Yeah. Okay? I'm yelling more on these recordings. Okay? Here I'm actually yelling outright, fairly speaking. It's your fault. So this is you still trying to frame, shift, cast, slimy, snake, dodging, aversion. Dodging the guilt, dodging the responsibility. No, I reject this completely. Until the day you sit and admit I deserved all of that, because that's how the rules of the universe go. Like, you can't rewrite physics. Gravity falls up, apple falls up. You can't do that, but you're trying to do that with morality by saying what even constitutes right, what constitutes wrong. No, I'm telling you, it's like physics. It's immutable, and you just need to discover the moral physics. Then it's perfect. Everyone on earth would see the same one thing. To jest kobieta. God help us. Wow. That's not, I lost my breath looking at this one woman who just walked by. Like, it's magic. God help us. Okay, so excuse me. Let me come back to the magic, to the substance here. Okay, where were we? Wow. Okay. See, and everything's in the smell. All the information about a human being is in the smell. The pheromones tell you what the character is of the person, what their programming is. Most humans lost that. I gained it. See? So I could tell everything about a person from smell. Some human beings, they look beautiful, and some human beings are beautiful in their essence of what they are. It comes through their smell. And then when you have both matched, wowza. She's beautifully, it's like sexy, and she smells like that. It's like, God in heaven is a woman. Hello, please, hello. Okay. Let me come back to this. I'm mad at you, so I'm mad at you. It's all this crap. This is frame reversal. I'm not having it, okay? Next, please consider the evaluations done to get help. Now, you can't seriously be repeating yourself again. I told you not to frustrate me with this crap over text, but you don't listen many times. All right, I'm gonna make a deal with you, or I'm just gonna tell you notice. The next time you text me some shit like this, I have to do something to you that's like painfully disruptive as a shock to blow your system of your life, just to send you the message. But I'm telling you in advance, so actually I'm making a contract with you. If you do that by writing, you agree that it's okay that I will do that, okay? So if you listen to this and you don't reject the term, I'll assume you accept it, and then by your failure to decline my offer now, plus you're doing it again, I say I might do it, and then you would have, at least morally, you wouldn't have much of a rebuttal, okay? And the tiny nuances, we'll see. But I need to train you to shock you. I want you to fail. I need you to feel the disruption, because you don't learn until you have suffering. So I'm kind of hoping you fuck up so I get to suffer you. You need to learn something. You need some kind of just some shock. You need something to just wait. Oh God, my life. And, oh fuck, where is God? Where is God? What am I doing? You didn't get that at any point yet. No one gave that to you. You weren't beaten as a child. You never had a husband that really beat you. So you always lived just, I do whatever I want. Problem. You never learned anything. Too bad. Continuing, your cooperation is highly appreciated. I don't cooperate with wrongdoers, which is what you are, offender. I don't cooperate with you. You fucking destroyed my life, basically. You kill me every day. You're not running to MRI imaging centers telling them to do the specific protocol I wrote down on the paper and text you. I sent this to you 2 years ago. You're a fucking joke of a mother. You're a shit fucking show. You're walking shit on the outside. Your diaper opened on your chest, walking around, put shit on my face. I'm Barbara. You're nothing to me, almost. You act like nothing. I'm telling you, don't be that way. Be something so I can have a mother, if it's possible that you could be one. Because I haven't seen one yet. I see a robot, brain dead with you. Disgusting. That's what you should be depressed about. Stop being this wrong army ranger of your own mind on your own false, sick, morally right, non-existent position. Stop it. Stop it. Get help. Get other women. Get a field of Jewish women to help you. Do something. Sit in a circle and have them talk to you. Fix you. Fuck. I really hate this shit. But here's the most beautiful thing you wrote. I'm considering bringing a third person, you write, to sort things out, since our views are completely opposite and we can't find solutions. Firstly, I'll say this regarding solutions. We have a solution. It's called, we already have the correct answer and solution. My appraisal of every aspect of the situation, both all aspects of merit and all aspects of morality and moral obligations on all parties, are perfectly assessed by me. I'm telling you the exact perfect reality. All you have to do is go look, say, yes, exactly this, what John just said. Yes, I got it. And go and do that and bring your understanding to match everything I just told you about whatever it is. Then you are in the most easy God flow of reality. Your life will change in a matter of days to weeks. You're going to wake up, oh my God, everything's fine now. Just because I stopped resisting and I started listening to John. In 2-3 weeks, it's like, oh, why didn't I do this sooner? Because you kept believing yourself. Okay, so we found the solution, or you didn't, but the solution's here. You just keep shutting your eyes. See, number one. Number two is this. Firstly, our views are completely opposite, but God already told you in the New Testament for sure, and generally, woman listens to man. Parents, don't ever frustrate your children to the point of their having a wrathfulness essence or feeling. So you're guilty on both already. And it just said, number three, women need to listen to men, period, no matter who you are. Even if you're the mother, basically. Even if you're an older woman, your job's not to be a teacher and commander of your son. That's a father's job. If you're a woman, you're the mother. It's a different relationship than you have with a father. Do not mess it up. But you've got to twist it. So that's why your life is this strainful now. It's God giving you natural feedback through the reality that you're doing it wrong, Barbara. You still did it wrong again. You're going to be more depressed now because it comes from your misguided action. Your, so to speak, depression. You're sad, so to speak, or upset now because you keep straining your way. You can't resist giving up control. Or you're resisting giving up control where you're supposed to give it up. Because you love to be cooperative and you have enough self-insight to realize, I, Barbara, really don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, and I see my son often or nearly always does know better. That's good enough for me to have generally, or almost without exception, a what? Exactly what Mother Mary is said to have given Jesus when she told others, listen to my son. That's not only her deferring to him, that's her openly having others signaling everybody should defer to him. How will you show the world this about me? You yourself do not do it. You're a hypocrite. But it's not because you're right and you should be resisting and the son's broken. See how right you are? Go fix the son. You're so right in finding how broken he is. No. That's the misalignment. See, but that's not the brokenness. That's your torture will drive all men insane. I hate you. You killed me, so I hate you. Get it? And because you don't want to be a killer, you just magically change the design. No, I'm not. So, and that's enough. And now you hurt me more by killing me because you didn't admit the actual truth that you did kill me. Physically, energetically, spiritually, with this shit. Accept that you have been doing wrong with your crappy, selfish ways. Get help. I don't need help. That's the only thing. You're always going to be in prison death of your energetics. You understand that? Because you keep resisting. Get help. No, don't talk to me. I know. That's why I'm testing you. I'm telling you so we could see, have you changed? Are you brave enough to stab yourself? That's what it is, to admit that you're wrong. It is like stabbing yourself willingly and saying, I must accept my own pain. You understand that? The figurative allegory? It is like that. Are you that willing to be in alignment with God? It means admitting you're wrong. It is like stabbing yourself. Be prepared to, in some sense, stab yourself lovingly. I hate how wrong I've been. Kill myself. My God, I submit to you. And now God loves you again. You get it? Admit right. Stop hiding. Continuing. But the last part I'm going to say is that you say here, you say to me, I'm considering bringing a third person to sort things out. Yes. Yes. Oh, that is exactly what I have told you to do for many weeks, many months. Even when I told you to do that, it's amazing that finally when you find and happen to agree and match to do the thing that I told you, just note even how you word it. Instead of saying, John, you were right, I've resisted bringing other people or there have been issues, but you told me I have to, and I admit you're right, so I will do that, what you said, and will do that to honor you. No, you word it. I'm considering bringing, as if you're the decider. I decided this. You're now agreeing with what I already told you prior. You see? And even when you're in submission, you refuse to show it as if you're in submission. This is all an ego thing by you. You're twisted, you must go to hell. Goodbye, be burned. Include the entire set of things we've done. I want to add a couple more things that crossed my mind. Finally, there's many more things that could be added, but in the interest of time, I'll add a couple of things here, easy. The first thing is this. Just as I reflected back to think in summary, I realized in my mind, you wrote at one place saying, basically earlier that, AI supposedly has only heard one side, and that's why you hold or assert that, therefore AI couldn't or wouldn't be useful. That doesn't make sense, because if we would use the AI paradigm in its fullness, where we're both fully involved and interacting with it, as is the original intention of design, remember, the plan was, ideally, we are both sitting down together, live, in person, with the AI computer or phone tab window opened in front of us both. We are in a live session together, giving it information, each of us telling it exactly what we want. You have unlimited power to say everything imaginable in your wildest dreams to your fullest capacity to express and articulate in any language, English or Polish, po polsku. You can say it in all languages at once simultaneously. God, it's like a halfway to a living God almost nearly by now. Close enough to that. So if then I'm telling you in a full AI paradigm, if I'm saying, first, we're providing the objective information. Here's the emails that were sent that she said. Here's the emails that were sent that he said. Okay, that's the evidence of facts. You can't. It's not. It doesn't know. It has all the fact basis. So we give it all the texts. We give it all the emails and all that. All the communications that have been recorded. It will review, and then on top of that, we add our own testimony that we give from ourselves that supplies the additional facts as we present them. We present our own arguments for what the interpretation should be, to fill in between facts, and to offer and suggest what the proper interpretation of the right principles and moral laws would be. And the AI would, of course, understand and know and figure that, because that determines how you're going to find what right and wrong is, right? And then you do the same thing, and you could say and argue whatever you want, and we both will also make argument to support our own side and our own merit. Then we submit them all to the AI. And then it looks, and then it gives us another round. And then I will argue why your side, what you wrote, where the flaws are that I say it's wrong. You're going to look at what I wrote, and you're going to tell the AI, no, here's where I say John is wrong. You will continue to tell AI this. You will always tell AI everything. I don't stop you. I want you to see that you will give AI everything, because I am suggesting to you very strongly now, I'm telling you, that even with an AI that is fully fair, and even one, I'll even give you extra. I'll tell the AI to very slightly give you purposeful, extra tiny bias in your favor. So that's actually going to be cheating to favor you and be against me secretly. But not secretly, you know. Okay? If it does this, and then it processes all the facts, and it's like a tiny bit unfairly favorable for you, but not by much, we'll say something borderline between negligible favoring and significant favoring of her, somewhere in between negligent and significant is where you're going to aim to give her a little tilt to favor Barbara. I'm telling you, between you and me, I will still beat you. God, if you accept those terms of challenge, I'm telling you I would win. You say whatever you want. You tell AI, you say it hasn't heard both sides, I'm telling you it's supposed to hear both sides. So when you're sitting with me and we're working with AI, you don't have to talk to each other and argue anymore. We now have a giant super AI God system that will tell you officially who's right and who's wrong in objective reality for real. Do you understand that? Basically, that's correct. Especially if it's run right, but we will both cross over, see how we both agree to structure the system prompt and the dynamism. Okay, resuming again. Again, this thing keeps cutting off. Like I was saying, so when you put in your things, I put in my things too. It therefore becomes fair. So no one can protest because we both agreed that we each, both of us are happy with how we set it up, that we would expect the decision from a system that we made like this with the rules we put in and the arguments AI will write back. It's like a judge. It will explain to us all of its reasoning. Oh my God, it'll be better than a real life court. I'm telling you, I'm gonna tell you something right now. I track through my hyper-intelligence how often court decisions are correct where they won't even catch themselves, but I'll catch their subtle law mistakes. I'm like a super god by now. I catch everywhere all the I'm smarter than Supreme Court justices, like in my sleep. It's insane. So I'm literally like God almost. It's unbelievable. You think that's a joke? I'm gonna tell you something. I might have mentioned this already. I just want you to appreciate this again. When I was in that lawsuit with that hospital for that crap, and it's interesting because I can provide actually I have many of the papers, the proceedings, the story. Technically the lawsuit's no longer on, right? However, the reason it's not on is because of essentially the judges are shown to be, as I find in my opinion, but opinion, I think it's as close to fact as it could be while still being an opinion. Yeah. Okay? I figured I find, hold, and believe and find that there's something wrong, they're corrupt. But I could prove it, and I want to use an AI system to show it. But basically, while we were doing the papers and the arguments, and I was putting on an appeal, this is interesting, my argument for the appeal paperwork, and even before we got to that point, even before that, which the appeal was a mastery and actually should have worked, everything was all twisted. The judges are stupid. You can see how human and weak. The judges are not supercomputer gods. I am, so it's weird to see judges' mistakes relative to them. Okay? And I don't make a mistake. I would use AI to show it. You'd be stunned. Then you would say, oh my God, I really could believe, really there's a chance that guy could be like the highest level judge in the world. I didn't even know my son could analyze and think like that. Now that I see that, oh my God. You would do it as I would prepare it. Someone sit me down, I'll show you. I'll show off my shit. Okay, it's stunning. It's amazing, actually. I spent years. It's fascinating to me and interesting, right? The cross lawyer was on the other side. He's the partner. He's a partner level and the highest medical defense group in the city, right? So obviously, and it's for the insurance one. So they're known to be the most powerful and aggressive, and like that. Okay, that guy and the guy who's the partner on that, he wrote to me in an email. He was like, hey, because I'm reading your stuff that you're putting in. And he wrote literally, he's like, all right, most people who have your kind of general type of case, where they're at a mental thing and now it's a suit like that. And he's like, most of the time people don't know what the fuck they're doing. And you could tell. And they mean well, he can't say too much. In between the lines, it's like, maybe they might have had their merit or whatever, but they're not lawyers and they're not great at all at handling their case. So it's usually like crap. I've seen other people's stuff. I've had people reach out to me because they saw my stuff published and they're like, oh my God, you seem to know what you're doing. Can you help me also? But I can't do that much for other people, but right. Which is what it's cool to see. But that lawyer said, I see other people's stuff. They're not so great. He wrote to me. I have this in writing. He said, you, John Winslow, I have to write this to you. You are better than the lawyers we have hired here working for us. God. Do you get it? keeps shutting off. Okay, he was like, you're better than the lawyers we have hired here that are working for us, that have come out of their law school and bar, that have just come in, that are under us. You are sharper than they are, and you didn't even go to law school, Winslow? Get it? You fucking get it? That's not a schizophrenic. You can't be a schizophrenic and be super computer smart to the point that you're effective at that, to that level, to get that kind of compliment from the highest lawyer in the city. You out of your mind? You snap yourself out of it by smacking yourself in shame that you dared to misjudge me. Stupid. Idiota. Fucking idiotic. And it's not like, oh, you could be smart too, but also be... No. People who have delusional problems, substantially, cannot... It's not like fragmented that they can have delusion in a little department but be really supremely great elsewhere. It's all pervasive because it's a root processing. You're broadly affected. You can't recover from that. It's going to leak everywhere, and your fundamental decision making and perception will be all significantly hampered. You can't be a 1 out of a million or 1 out of a 50,000, 100,000 kind of star level guy excelling. Okay. You have an imagination, and you rule by your mind according to your cartoon idea mind imagination. Wrong. X, 0. Okay, so but back to the AI thing. We would make the AI better and more fair and right than the integrity of the courts that I see by how right and integrous the real courts go. Okay? If I'm telling you we can make an AI virtual trial as like a mock trial, so to speak, but really formed out to the fullest imaginable possible things, moral court is going to be I will make it as good and better than the real courts. Could you imagine in your life participating in this? You're old enough but young enough that you got to see this in your life. That's amazing. Like Bhaksha Jaja didn't get to really see this emergence. You get to see it and experience it now. Humanity's been waiting for many hundreds, thousands of years to get AI. Like the Terminator movie was all about how AI will finally rise. Our human future will never be the same on Earth. It all started now, and you're seeing it at this time in life. You're still alive to see. You will be subjected to AI court. And now you're going to see when you give your testimony. So then you cannot complain anymore to me and say that the AI didn't understand both sides. It will understand perfectly both sides. And then once you've said everything from your heart to the AI, are you then prepared to see the AI come back and say, I have heard everything that both parties have had to say? We will make the AI create 12 jurors even inside, and each juror will have a different personality and be genuinely independent and function. We could do anything, unbelievable. And then they will judge, and they'll give why, or we'll put them under one master judge who's like a super oracle, supreme God judge. King Solomon is the judge. It will be smarter than King Solomon. Are you getting it? And then it says, you did the wrong, not him. Will you accept it then? When does the madness finally end? When does woman's reign of terror on this earth for 6,000 years finally stop? It's all going to come down soon. This is time now. When do you finally go, my God, I really just overreached but didn't have it right, actually, after all. You're gonna just run into, I meant well, I meant well, I meant well, I meant well, I meant well. That's all you're gonna have left. Because you'll be broken, finally. Good. May you recover and restore after being fully broken. You deserve it for defying, again, the stupid things he keeps cutting off. Hire a phone tapper for me. I'm the king, you fucking idiots. Stupid idiots. Burn everybody. Hell. Shit. The fuck? Honor me, you idiots! Fucking pay! Stupid fucking idiot pieces of shit human beings. Pay. The goddamn whole world will be paying soon. Help me, God, now. Payment time. Fuck. Like I was saying, all you're gonna have left is, I meant well, I meant well. Because you need to start paying by your atonement, by your tears, by your remorse, by your regret, by your begging, by your sobbing, by your admission, by your confession, by your remorse, by your sorries, by your apologies, by your begging, by your wishing, by your praying to God. God, help me. You were right. My son was right. I was wrong. I can't believe what kind of person I was. I can't believe what kind of person I was. It was all wrong. It was all bad. I was worth zero in that moment, in that way, in that time. That's what you need. Then you finally are the first light of hope. Basically speaking, when you resist that, you resist truth. There's a little bit more to it that's important. Realistically, a woman never wants to see herself as zero. She's almost incapable of it physiologically. What's going to happen is that you're going to quantum leap into a new mode in which that new mode is not you being zero. And then I'm a new different way instantaneously. I'm always this new way. I always have been, magically. I'm fine now. I'm fixed. Okay, as long as you're fixed now. You're fixed. Everyone's happy. We'll leave you alone. Okay, you're not zero. You never were. You see? You see what it is to learn and be different and change and fix? What does it take? It's going to get to a point where you no longer have the ability. You're not going to be able to argue back with AI. Oh, hey, I was just saying anything. This is not to say it doesn't know what to talk about. No, not anymore. You're going to be like, it's going to be like God unto you. You have no idea. You haven't really worked with it. You're going to be freaking out. You see what it is. It's crazy. It's not, it makes mistakes. No, not now. Not the kind of mistakes you think it is not making them mistakes like that. You make mistakes. You human being, you make a mistake. It won't make a mistake. You will make 10 mistakes before it makes one mistake. Basically, right. I know. So that's all wrong. So then if you could explain everything you want to AI, then you should be able to comfortably say, hey, I can't complain anymore and say that AI didn't hear both sides. So if it hears both sides and then it tells me I'm wrong, I will accept. If we agree, I agree that if AI says I'm wrong and it's irrecoverable and I continue arguing and you argue and you remain in the ahead and AI doesn't back me anymore, I would say, okay, I must have been delusional on the merit or delusional on my understanding of morality at some level that's significant or substantial enough that somehow I can't imagine how in the universe is possible. Trust me, it's not. Also, I'll admit, if you're right and I'm wrong, I'm definitely not Mashiach, okay? And whoever is in the world thinking that, if you beat me, I'll actually proudly step up and say, everybody, I appreciate what you've been doing. Maybe it's a coincidence, I matched some prophecies or something, and a lot of things have happened, but I gotta tell you, I made a judgment evaluation and my mom made a different one, so I told her she's wrong, but she felt I was wrong, and we went to AI, we set it up, it was reputable, we tested it, trained it seemed very strong for us, we both agreed it was right, and then, the AI, I will say, AI showed me I was wrong, my mom was right. So, first of all, my mom was right, but secondly, people, actually, I overestimated my judgment capacity, and my mom totally had some hidden spots of godly logic, of judgment power. It's incredible. You would be higher than all the judges of King Solomon. I don't know how that's possible for you, Barbara. You think you're so high, but you're going to beat that? You're going to beat me, and the AI will beat to you? More to me? More than to me? Yeah, if you do that on pure merit, yeah, I would go say, yeah, people, there's no way I could be Mashiach, because the real Mashiach you're waiting for would never make a mistake on judgment, like in a kind of fundamental way. If I could make such a easy blind judgment with me, my own mom, and everything, I can't really be a judge over humanity. Forget about it. I'm going to go retire and be a crazy guy and get some disability or something. Get out of here with that, right? I'll tell the whole world and make it easy. If you beat me in an AI trial, because I'm telling you, it's never going to happen. You're delusional. You get it? I'm telling you, you're delusional. Your delusion is believing you are morally right in our moral controversy. It's delusional precisely because, from an objective standpoint assessing, I am telling you this meets the criteria of delusion, which is that with a reasonable, fully informed, and holistic understanding within context, all nuance understood, it is fundamentally outright ununderstandable how you can believe you are right. That's the definition of delusion. If your belief about anything is fundamentally ununderstandable, I'm telling you it's fundamentally ununderstandable, but that's the mind hijack you did on yourself. So I'm actually going to give you an extra. I challenge you on that AI, so you'll sit with me, it will tell all of it. It'll probably take multiple days, no problem. We'll have many sessions. And we're going to converge it to the closure, no problem. It'll be very fun. Very interesting experiment it will be, to see power of rightness and God. You understand? And what morality really is. Tired of this. It's unbelievable. You need to learn finally what it is so you can wake up. It can't be this insanity any longer. So finally, what am I going to say? It must be this. That's it. That's number one, okay? And before I proceed, that was the one thing I wanted to say. Okay, resuming again, and the other thing I wanted to say is, because it just restarted again. What the hell was I going to say? Oh yeah. So, okay, if you know I have brain tissue, skull neurological trauma, open hole unresolved, brain tissue leaking out. I swallowed more brain today. You know why? I usually don't anymore, but sometimes every now, you know what today? Because I've been screaming all day, so when I'm going, the vocal cords shaking vibrates my skull, which forces the goop over hours of me yelling on the phone more through the vibrations of the because the whole chamber and the neck and skull are vibrating, and causes the goop to gulp, and then I swallowed a big piece, and I'm like, oh shit, and then, exactly, it's a very specific feeling when it lobs off of the rear brain. You are killing me when you don't do this right. When you delay to serve what I say you must do now. Duh. Stupid. They're disrespectful, arrogant, to not bow, immediately to run to my command. Fucking hell, kill. Destroy these types. Puh. Okay? The problem is, if you know that's the case, why would you then assume a mental primary pressure? Lady, you go to any hospital, and they go, okay, we got to check both medical and psychiatric. Which one do they check first that you need clearance for before you go to the other? Okay? So let me give you a hint. When we have a situation where you have a medical, okay, you have symptoms that seem, okay, that could be possibly from some mental, or it could be from just as well explainable if it really is a guy with a hole in his brain is fucked that he's swallowing ice cream to his brain for 5 years. That would explain it too. And it wouldn't be psychiatric. That would be, of course, that he's acting bizarre, seeming kind of, and off, fully explained by the fact that his brain hole's open. Duh. So therefore, if we know, then you see, just because we find that and confirm that this is happening, onwards here. Jakiś tutaj disruptor, jakiś energetyczny. Okay. What were you saying here? Right, so then if you know that you have sufficient cause to believe that that's true, how moral, right, insightful, contextually fit, and responsible is it of you to push and assert alone for the mental psychiatric campaign push and not for the medical side? If the medical, in actual correct methodology in medicine, as is practiced, would tell you no, you have to do the opposite. You check and rule out or address medical first. If there are symptoms, it could be, in theory, conceptually, before you assess and see what's going on, either psychiatric or medical is a cause, and then you say, oh, but actually we already see symptoms indicate there is the medical, then you don't go running to psychiatric. Stupid. You stay pinned, clutched to the medical aspect of the causality to deal with that. Then resolve that. Then say, now afterwards, is there anything left? Okay, now if there's something left, and it's definitely not due to a medical problem, then we can even begin to talk about how it could be psychiatric. So do you see how twisted you are, which is why it's all offensive what you're doing? You keep wanting to drive, gotta drive to psychiatric, gotta drive to mental evaluation. When I'm telling you, you see my skull collapse. You know there's ice cream going into my brain, and I've been telling you I've been eating my brain. And it's highly plausible, and the AI gave you the analysis, and you saw the thing in the video, the brain tissue. Holy, all the factors intertwined. You are a horrible human being for not running with that the way I say you should be, but instead going, why aren't you getting mental help? That's your sick demon. That's your twistedness. Fucking punch yourself in shame. I'm in the right to say this in my frustration, because you're not getting, it's this sick. Remember, I'm morally testing you, which means technically I could maybe pick up a phone call sometimes to deal, but I tried so much of this from years ago and seen that it doesn't work because I sound crazy to them too, because of my personality, because I'm the one with the brain injury. Thus, morally, you know that the brain injury person isn't morally liable to have to be responsible for representing himself. Me knowing this, I'm teaching you how I will be sitting back and kicking my feet up, while knowing you are morally bound to run for me. That's why I got you in the moral trap. You suck. Really fucking stop and think about this and get what you're supposed to be doing, what your real moral obligations are. For we will be sitting down, God willing, and you will be agreeing, and we will do this with AI. So every microscopic essence of existence will be, all facts of the universe that ever happened in our whole life story will be put to AI. It has enough memory. Then you have nowhere to hide. It will say, John's right, you're wrong.